version of the reaction we did on
No,
Twitch?
the fixed version of what?
You know how like on Twitch I couldn't hear you for the longest time?
Ah, good. I'm
Yes.
glad.
Yes. So I was able to like get the audio from the restream version and then like edit it over the Twitch version and uploaded it to Twitch.
Thank you.
No problem. If you're joining us now, we're watching the opening ceremony of the Panamerican Games in Santiago, Chile. We're waiting until Jordan comes in with the American flag, and then we're going to go and jump right into the 1991 Panamerican Games. I'm joined by Catherine, by the way.
Hey.
Where's my remote?
Es el turno de Tumbe Afrochileno. Este grupo está dirigido por Edgar Vargas Olivares, artista afrodescendiente de la ciudad de Arica, quien convoca a bailarines de los grupos Tumba Carnaval de Arica, Negro y Cadencia Curiche de Santiago, representando de esta manera al pueblo tribal afrodescendiente.
Seguimos este primer cuadro con el ballet folclórico Bajo Pal, con 32 años de trayectoria, integrado por jóvenes de la comuna de Puente Alto de Santiago, danzando la cueca de la zona central de Chile.
This.
You like this?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a spectacle, but it gives you a sense for the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's rich in, Chile's so rich in culture. Although I will say that I was watching Zoe Miller's live yesterday on TikTok, and they asked her if she was going to go. When does gym start? It starts tomorrow at. Here, hold on. I don't want to speak out of my ass. It starts tomorrow.
And it's mag.
It's mag.
It starts with mag.
It's tomorrow at 4:30 Central. So I'll go live at 4:15 Central. But yeah, Zoe Miller was saying on her live that they're in a really dangerous part of Chile right now, and so they can't go like exploring.
Millions of dollars in television equipment was stolen from this venue that they're holding the opening ceremony ago.
Oh, it was a year ago? I thought that just happened.
Days ago.
Oh, it did happen days ago. Okay, cool. I wonder what they did or what they had to do to be able to like film it.
I'm sure they flew in more equipment.
Yeah, that's so expensive, and like that's what I said about like streaming. Like you don't.
It happened in the middle of the afternoon too.
I bet you the call was coming from inside the house.
Padlock. Person found a busted padlock. Well, yeah, I mean, it was like the gate was padlocked. and they found an open gate.
That's wild.
But I mean, yes, danger, but also like as someone who spent a lot of time in Mexico in the 80s, I also think Americans tend to overestimate
Yeah.
danger.
I used to go to Mexico all the time. Like I grew up like spending like months at a time in Mexico, and so like I'm a firm believer that if you go looking for trouble, you'll find it. But like, you know, it's no worse than like going to Chicago.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a white girl and I was extremely blonde and tall when I was a teenager relative to the average Mexican woman.
Yeah.
And so I stood out like a sore thumb and was never like the most I ever encountered was street vendors who were aggressive in wanting me to buy things.
Yeah, that happens a lot. They always get me too. I'm just like, fine, I'll buy it. Jeez. Oh, is that their torch?
But like
That's
I'm
cool.
obviously American and I never had a problem.
That's the story of my life. So while we're here, Kara Aker, man. Shout out to her.
That post is so strong and I admire her so much.
She
And people should go and read her words.
They should. They should.
And fuck the Marsdens.
We're just talking about Kara right now. So if you don't know yet, if you're just you're finding out, Kara Aker announced her official retirement from the University of Utah, as well as the whole sport of gymnastics. She detailed the fact that she faced emotional, mental. I don't want to say physical because we don't know yet. She didn't really say that.
She described him in rages, though.
Yeah, and we do know that he threw a bar scraper at one of the gymnasts. And we knew that there was rumblings about this when Sage Thompson left, when a couple of the girls left, and there was rumors.
And Utah's recruiting's already down. Someone on Reddit pointed out that they a 3-star recruit a scholarship.
It's just, and then like to know that Miley O'Keefe and Crystal Issa and several other people, including the Marsdens, like supported Tom, even though they're well aware of this was happening. It speaks of the culture of abuse there in gymnastics, and further reinforces the fact that we're going to have an international.
You have to remember that the Marsden, like Meg Marsden, worked with him, and they hired him because he was like them.
Yeah. And we also have to. I mean, it kind of gives validity to the project I'm working on, which is it's an international roundtable on abuse that we'll be holding in the next couple months. We're trying to iron out all the details and like really do it respectfully and do it correctly. And so look forward to that. We'll be joined by people involved in the sport from Canada, from Australia. Here in the United States, or we're trying to get someone from Great Britain, that just it's going to happen because something has to be done. I mean, the only thing I can do is give a platform to people who know more than I do, and are much more influential than I am. My platform to be able to talk about it and really elevate the voices of those who matter. Because I don't, they do. It's sad, man. Like she deserves so much more. I know we give her hell for her rings, but like.
Que va a recibir estos 19º Juegos Panamericanos Santiago 2023 y usted lo ve a través del Panam Sport Channel.
Yeah, so I was looking at that. There's a website that's streaming the Pan American Games, which you have to pay for. If that's the case, I know there was, like, USAG has said it's going to be free on the website we're watching it now, but there's another website, and I just want to raise awareness to make sure that people don't pay for it when you don't have to.
Mejor del deporte en las Américas a través del Pan Sport Channel. Somos el canal oficial del evento deportivo más importante del continente.
Because this is the official channel. The other one is not.
Jamás vista en estos eventos.
Y ahora todos los grupos culturales, los que se presentaron anteriormente, están
These are all the
en
cultural
esa
groups.
estructura que nos regala el mapa de Chile.
And that's in my map of Chile.
Los ojos de América están en Chile hoy.
Oh, I like the
Esta
fact that I
ceremonia
know Spanish.
inaugural.
I can just like translate for
Del
y'all.
desierto de Atacama hasta la Patagonia, donde los Andes se sumergen de manera dramática en el Océano Pacífico, para tener una geografía única. Estamos hablando de Chile.
Bueno, este debe ser el único país del mundo en que uno puede estar esquiando en la montaña, bajar y en una hora estar bañándose en el Pacífico.
Exactamente.
Incluso en Punta Arenas hay canchas de esquí que dan al mar. Una cosa realmente insólita. Es un país con una naturaleza muy loca, con muchos volcanes activísimos. Hay uno ahora que nos estaba asustando desde hace varios meses, el volcán Villarrica, el más activo de nuestro país. Pero bueno, es un país lindo, es un país hermoso y es un país que hoy entra a las grandes ligas del deporte internacional.
Y lo más importante, creo yo, para las futuras generaciones, el legado que van a dejar estos Juegos Panamericanos, estoy totalmente seguro. Por las instalaciones, por lo que va a promover el amor al deporte, a la práctica de ejercicios físicos, a una vida saludable a través del ejercicio. Y tal y como ha sucedido en las ciudades que a través de la historia han albergado Juegos Panamericanos, Chile no será la excepción y Santiago mucho menos.
Así es. Nos estamos preparando para la próxima escena especial por demás, porque esta es la previa al clímax de cualquier inauguración de un evento multideportivo, cuando entran los protagonistas de esta fiesta.
No, y los atletas con sus respectivas indumentarias. Ya sabemos que habrán algunas sorpresas, siempre los equipos escogen su ropa deportiva, su manera de expresarse a través de la vestimenta y también las iniciativas que tienen a la hora de realizar el desfile.
Bueno, aquí entra el juego de los diseñadores también. La actriz chilena Amparo Noguera, muy conocida en nuestro país.
Somos un todo, constituido por muchas identidades, las que se asentaron en este territorio hace miles de años, y los nuevos habitantes que desde su arribo se han integrado a este lugar sur del sur, una tierra única llamada Chile. Este país esquina del vasto continente americano hoy le da un abrazo a todo el planeta. Nos reconocen por nuestra singular geografía, por nuestra naturaleza volcánica, por ser un país sísmico, realidad que nos ha hecho caer innumerables veces, pero ante cada caída hemos aprendido a ponernos de pie, con más fuerza y energía que antes. Eso nos define como chilenos. Somos una nación tan extensa como diversa. Somos culturalmente tan integrados como fragmentados. Somos parte de un territorio tan desértico como lluvioso, habitantes del mar y de la cordillera, hechos de agua, sal y cobre, parte del campo y de las ciudades. Somos todo eso y mucho más, porque cada lugar en nuestra tierra es único en su esencia, y nuestra esencia se dibuja en los contrastes.
Oh, so sad.
Siempre nos dicen que somos el fin del mundo, frase que nos ha marcado y construido desde la distancia.
So I was just reading
Hoy los
Kara's
invito
statement again, and it's
a invertir la mirada,
just sad that the entire
a mirar
school
desde
fell
otro
there.
lugar. Chile es sur, y es ahora, y es el futuro. Chile es donde comienza el mundo. Bienvenidos a nuestra casa.
Yes, girl.
Amparo Noguera, una gran actriz chilena, ha hecho muchas películas, teleseries, hija de Tito Noguera, familia de actores de nuestro país, una gran representante de las tablas chilenas.
Let me go get something to drink. I'll be right back. Oh, Catherine left. She just left me. Okay, I'll be right back, Al.
Comienza a desarmarse Chile, esa estructura que tiene 600 triángulos de madera. Ya les contaba yo que el escenario mide 42 metros de largo. Aquí se van a realizar las pruebas de atletismo, por cierto. Y luego ya comenzaremos con el desfile de los atletas y los discursos correspondientes también del presidente de Panam Sports, Neven Illich, el ministro de Deportes de nuestro país, Jaime Pizarro, y la inauguración oficial por parte del presidente Gabriel Boric. Todos presentes hoy en el Estadio Nacional Julio Martínez.
Damas y caballeros, el momento que estábamos esperando. Demos la bienvenida a los atletas de los Juegos Panamericanos de Santiago 2023.
Hace su entrada al Estadio Nacional los protagonistas de esta fiesta, quienes pondrán el alma, la vida y el corazón para conseguir las medallas, los atletas de Santiago 2023.
Este es uno de los momentos más emotivos y más esperados dentro de la ceremonia de inauguración. Al igual que el encendido del pebetero, que siempre es un secreto bien guardado.
Correcto.
Entra el contingente de voluntarios que va a ordenar este desfile, ¿no?
Que lo van a intentar solo.
Van a intentar ordenar este desfile de las 41 naciones, iniciado por Argentina. Vamos a ir en orden alfabético en
Argentina.
todas estas naciones que conforman los 41 países del área panamericana. Ahí están los abanderados. Sabrina Ameguino, 9 medallas panamericanas en el canotaje. Marcos Moneta, figura clave en la clasificación de los Pumas a París 24, uno de los rugbyistas más rápidos del mundo en el rugby 7. Argentina viene a defender sus 32 medallas de oro que logró en Lima, donde ocupó la 6ª posición. Defienden, por ejemplo, el oro en el balonmano. Muy fuertes en el hockey, las leonas siempre son factor. Agustina Albertario es la embajadora de Panam Sports. Y bueno, 10 doradas en atletismo también en Lima 2019. Viene con 38 atletas en ese deporte en específico. Antigua y Barbuda tienen una medalla de plata en Lima, un solo abanderado. Tiger Tyson, representante de la vela. Es uno de los 13 países que forman la América insular o islas del Mar Caribe. La plata que lograron en Lima estuvo en manos de Priscila Frederick en el salto alto.
Aruba.
Bueno, Aruba, que trae como abanderados a Miguel Schroeder de natación y a Chanaya Howell de BMX Racing. Son los dos abanderados de Aruba en estos Juegos Panamericanos En el caso de Aruba, un bronce en Lima 2019. Aquí está su comitiva en este desfile de los atletas con sus dos abanderados Aruba. Otra de las naciones presentes en estos Juegos.
Atletas independientes.
Y aquí está el equipo de los atletas independientes, que tiene como abanderados a Emilio Flores de escalada deportiva y a Lucero Mejía de natación. Recuerden que Guatemala fue sancionado por el COI y por esta manera compiten bajo este nombre de equipo independiente.
La gran baja, quizás Luis Grijalva, finalista de la Diamond League. La temporada muy larga no le permitió estar a diploma en Tokio 2020 aquí en este evento de los Juegos Panamericanos. Nos preparamos para recibir a Bahamas. Los abanderados son Michelle Elliott del tiro y Kenny King del bádminton. Bahamas es un productor.
Esos son los de Barbados, ojo, ¿ah?
Exactamente.
Sally Elizabeth Thompson de la natación y Lamar Taylor de también nadador
Correcto,
de Bahamas.
Correcto.
No les fue bien en Lima a Bahamas en todo caso. Me voy yo con Barbados, entonces te lo repito. Barbados, Kenny King del bádminton, como decía su JJ, y Michelle Elliott del tiro son los abanderados de la isla, que ganó su primera medalla de oro en Lima en el año 2019. Fue Shane Brathwaite. Fantástica actuación en los 110 metros con vallas, a una centésima por sobre el segundo, que resultó ser el atleta de los Estados Unidos. Un milagro lo de Barbados en Lima, que gana su primer oro.
Puesto 26 histórico, por una sola medalla de oro en toda su participación en Juegos Panamericanos. Este sí, Barbados ha conseguido además más premios en los Juegos Panamericanos.
Belice todavía no tiene medallas en los juegos anteriores, va a tratar de ganar una aquí. Sus abanderados, Trent Hadwig de la vela, con banderas chiquitas, y Ashanti Carr del salto largo, son los encargados de llevar ahí adelante. Sí, la cámara se nos quedó con los que estaban atrás, no los de adelante, los abanderados de Belice.
Bueno, Bermuda, que tiene como abanderados a Connor White de ciclismo y a Emma Harvey de natación. Recuerden que esto ya es una iniciativa del COI y que llegó para quedarse. Las ceremonias de inauguración, 2 personas como abanderados, buscando la inclusión de género. Es uno de los pilares del COI, la Agenda 2020+5.
Esta particular vestimenta de estos atletas, shorts, medias largas, los colores vivos rosa. Así que muy bien.
Bolivia.
Bueno, Bolivia, que tiene como abanderados a Conrado Moscoso de racquetball y a Noelia Ceballos de tenis. Aquí está la delegación de Bolivia.
Uno de los campeones mundiales, Moscoso, que estará presente en estos Juegos Panamericanos. Lo hizo en el 2022. Número 1 del mundo en el ranking mundial de este deporte que ahora es olímpico, el racquetball. Ahí está Bolivia, la delegación altiplánica.
Sorry, Catherine. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Vestida de rojo. Y ahora, ven Brasil.
Una de las...
She left. No, I did the wrong thing. I did the wrong thing. Man.
De medallas panamericanas en la historia.
Catherine, I'm so sorry. I went to go get them to drink, and then my mom stopped me when we were talking because I was crying about Kara. I'm back. I'm so sorry.
Y han dicho que si
So sorry.
logran quitar, en el buen sentido deportivo, 10 medallas de oro que son claves contra Canadá, estarían buscando el segundo lugar de estos Juegos Panamericanos. Está Ana Marcela Acuña por allí, está Vía Ferreira, está Rebeca Andrade, que es Team Panasport, y ha traído lo mejor de lo mejor.
Y hay que decir que en deportes colectivos deben arrasar con una buena cantidad de títulos.
Bueno,
Son favoritos en varias disciplinas.
Señor.
Ellos fueron,
My mother called me, and I had to look up prices of expensive dog food for her. She's like in her 70s and has a dog for the first time in her life, and is having sticker shock over the price.
Yeah, no, we have to buy Klaus this Purina Pure Instinct food. It's expensive as hell. It's the only one he'll eat.
Yeah, so she has a rescue dog that came to her with expensive taste.
Don't they always? Let me get some seaweed. Hold on.
Y también a fuertes equipos colectivos en el remo Canadá. Sobre todo es tremendo.
Tercer lugar histórico en la tabla general de los Juegos Panamericanos para Canadá, con 490 medallas de oro. El Team Canadá está vestido de vino tinto para esta ceremonia inaugural de los Juegos Panamericanos. De hecho, Sole Timmy es el último equipo en nombrar sus abanderados. Lo hizo unas horas antes de la inauguración.
Se demoraron muchísimo, sí, es verdad. Canadá, potencia también junto a Estados Unidos, Brasil, Colombia.
Adex, for future reference, I'm sending you a post in DM.
Todos los representantes de Canadá y nos sigue Colombia con sus.
I don't know if I turned off my notifications or something, but I have not been getting any of your notifications. So I wasn't ignoring you, by the way.
Well, after we watch the 1991 Pan Ams later, I'm going to make you put on that Schaefer vaulting thing because it amuses me. Oh, not vaulting, tumbling.
Estrella de Colombia. Colombia, acuérdense, trae a Mariana Pajón, viene a despedirse. La hormiguita
Those hats are a choice.
del BMX. Trae también en el atletismo al vicecampeón olímpico de los 400 metros planos, Anthony Zamplano. Flor Ruiz.
They also have to be cold.
La dardista que logró la medalla de plata en el último mundial de Budapest. Una sorpresa, iba ganando hasta el último tiro, hasta que quita el
Does it sound like you're in a fishbowl?
quitó en el buen sentido de la palabra.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Flor Ruiz,
Johnny Rentería
en los 100 metros, buenas posibilidades también en el golf. María José Uribe, traen un equipazo. Los colombianos, a ver si superan los 28 horas de Lima 2019.
Para mí Colombia es uno de los países que puede dar un gran salto cualitativo cuando estamos viendo a Costa Rica. Los costarricenses que vienen con Andrés Acuña de racquetball y Nichi Lindo de taekwondo.
Did we see Luisa?
Como
No.
abanderados en esta justa.
Ahí están los ticos.
Ganaron un oro y 4 bronces en Lima 2019.
Puesto 19 histórico con 6 medallas de oro, 6 de plata y 13 de bronce para 25 en total.
Y ya se está preparando la delegación de la Mayor de las Antillas, segundo lugar en el medallero histórico en Juegos Panamericanos, mientras las cámaras todavía van tomando a los atletas y entrenadores de Costa Rica. Aquí viene Cuba.
Cuba.
La delegación cubana con Julio César de la Cruz,
This is so cool.
doble campeón olímpico como banderado de boxeo, e Idalis Ortiz, 4 veces medallista olímpica, un oro, un bronce y 2 platas. Y aquí está la delegación de Cuba, al frente Julio César de la Cruz e Idalis Ortiz, y una comitiva que tiene intenciones de ganar de 18 a 22 títulos en estos Juegos Panamericanos.
Oh, also, I believe the Swiss Cup will be geo-blocked, so I will stream it on here.
Cuba además nos trajo la visita de Mijaín López, 4 oros olímpicos en lucha, 5 mundiales, 5 panamericanos ganados, de Gabriel.
Someone on Reddit just posted something I'm going to read. So this is me quoting somebody. Long retired gymnast from Missouri here. Nothing fancy like college or anything, just level 10. I've not kept up with gymnastics news for a long time, so my stomach dropped to my knees when I read his name just now and recognized it for the first time. I've heard it since I was a teenager. Tom came from whatever town she's talking about. Holy shit, I only ever was around him at gymnastics camps, but dude was so reckless. I felt so unsafe with him coaching, dangerous coaching style. He was obsessed with making young gymnasts throw huge skills that they never trained and weren't ready for. I would have believed Kara wholeheartedly anyway, but man, 1000% believe every word. My heart broke for her.
La idea es mejorar esta participación. Y Ecuador, que en principio tenía otros abanderados, pero ahí está.
So he has apparently formed going back decades.
El campeón olímpico de Tokio 2020, quien lleva la bandera ecuatoriana, junto a Angie Palacios, la recordista mundial de levantamiento de pesas. Y ojo con Ecuador, porque el nivel que tiene es tremendo para estos Juegos Panamericanos. Pesas.
So I sent you a link that might give us English commentary tomorrow.
Y es un momento dulce para Ecuador. Así que ojo con esta delegación ecuatoriana que trae las flores tricolores en las manos en este desfile inaugural.
Oh, can I just say, just really quick, I think it's funny when like large platforms choose to like punch down and say things about smaller creators, just to myself, I guess. And it's just funny because that's I searched my name. I did, and I shouldn't have. And then I was looking for something on my profile, and like all this stuff popped up that I hadn't ever seen. Like, if I wasn't in therapy and if I wasn't a strong person I am, I don't know. Like Inquisitioner 3 or whatever, Inquisitor 3, like how he committed suicide, like after all that shit happened, and like, there's Jordan with Laurent. Other Laurent. Oh, that's the rifle shooter.
Yeah.
There's a steal.
He must not be very tall if she is only that short next to him.
Yeah, she's like 5'3", right?
Yeah. So he's got to be like 5'9".
Oh, my height.
Beijing 2008, Londres 2012, Tokio 2020 y 5 medallas de oro en mundiales.
Why don't we let the last of the Parade of Nations go through before we cut away?
Extraordinario equipo de 3x3, JJ. Sí, señor, los actuales subcampeones del mundo, con Jimmy Fredette, Gabriel Maddox y
Give all the athletes their due.
Estados Unidos trae 631 atletas, 32 medallistas olímpicos, de ellos 13 son de oro. Así que lo de Estados Unidos no es cuento en los Juegos Panamericanos, es el líder indiscutible en la tabla de medalla general, que además trae a Sierra Burton también.
I love how happy they are to be there.
Exjugadora de la WNBA y que
I've been fighting with American gym fans who keep talking about how Rebecca Andrade shouldn't be here. I'm like, you don't understand what this is. It's not only the way people talk about this, but the way people talked about Asian Games. Like,
they just don't get
it.
Yeah. Vamos con Granada, que trae como banderados a Lyndon Victor y a Hassan Hall, ambos de atletismo. Granada, que tuvo el oro de Anderson Peters, que finalmente no pudo llegar a estos Juegos Panamericanos. Pero aquí está la delegación de Granada, pequeña comitiva que está participando en este desfile de los atletas. Ceremonia de apertura de los Juegos Panamericanos Santiago 2023. Aquí está Guyana. Guyana llega con Desmond Amsterdam de boxeo y Brianna Randani de badminton como los abanderados.
Guyana no obtuvo medallas en Lima, pero sí tienen 18 en 16 ediciones en que han competido en Juegos Panamericanos. De esas 18, 2 son de oro.
Y esta es la delegación de Guyana, también representada por Alan Bombay dentro de la organización Pan Sports. Una
I went to the kitchen to get my drink and some food, and my mom and dad were watching baseball. And I'm like, "Are you not watching the Pan American games?" And they were like, "Baseball's on." I'm like, "God,
Nos
you're
preparamos para
American."
recibir a Haití. Haití y los abanderados Fritz Lawrence Salvan y Alia Shipman son los abanderados de la delegación de Haití que se presentan acá en el Estadio Nacional de Santiago.
Haití tiene 7 medallas en total en toda su historia en Buenos Aires. La primera edición lograron una de bronce. Tienen buenas representaciones.
Do we see Lindsay?
En pesas, en taekwondo, deportes de contacto en general. Han estado en todas las ediciones de los Juegos Panamericanos.
Do we
Están en búsqueda de su primer oro.
see him there?
She's teensy, so let me see.
Nos preparamos para recibir
No,
a
they already all
Honduras
passed.
con Julio Orrego en la natación y Natalie Espinal en el tenis.
That man's making her carry the whole
Es el
damn
equipo
flag.
catracho. Honduras
No, I didn't see
That's
Lindsay.
hilarious.
Right, like,
llega a Santiago 2023.
You're
en el
both
puesto
like flag
35
bearers.
de
Look at
la
her.
general en el medallero
She looks strong,
histórico.
though.
Todavía no consiguió su primer oro en los Juegos Panamericanos.
remember when
Tres platas,
Simone had to carry the flag
dos
at the
bronce.
Olympics? And it was like carrying her.
Las que
Oh my God.
conforman estos países de el área panamericana, Islas Caimán es
I love how
uno de ellos.
happy Jordan was to get this honor.
Un par de atletas
She
apenas
deserves it.
5-0 con sus abanderados de Siena Broadbelt de la natación y del mismo deporte.
And like,
James
I love that we're now in a place where like USAG is not like standing in the way of them doing things like this.
I just never understood why they didn't get to do this. Like, Marta was so stupid.
Well, like, yeah, their competition
Y la
starts soon,
primera de
but
Estados Unidos que trae como
like making them
a Natalia Kuiper,
isolated is not going to make it better.
de Amur, de tiro con arco. Los abanderados
We
de
saw.
USVI, US Virgin Islands.
Jordan would have been so stifled under Marta.
My God.
Y las
Aquí están las islas
She would've gave up on her.
británicas.
She
que tienen
kind of had
como
already. Well,
único abanderado a
Was-
Delia
Jordan
Emerson
wasn't
de atletismo.
old, like,
Aquí está.
she was in the junior
Jordan's
program.
wrong age.
Emerson, que será
Yeah, she
la
was in the junior
abanderada de la
program.
delegación de Islas Vírgenes Británicas.
Was she? Yeah, she
Que
was.
llega a estos
Yeah,
juegos
she was in the junior program.
con el sabor de
But she had
haber
Larry.
ganado, recuerdo, los Juegos Centroamericanos el oro en el básquet femenino.
Ahí está Jamaica
Jamaica
con Samuel Ricketts del badminton como abanderado masculino y
Now I'm playing like spot the gymnast looking for the short women.
Reggae Boys presentándose en el Estadio Nacional.
Reggae Boys
funny.
lograron 13 medallas de oro en Lima. Perdón, 13 en total, 6 de oro. Y esas de oro fueron de Shelly Ann Fraser Price y
Sherika Wright, Sherika Jackson.
Did what's her face?
¿no? Y,
Is Shakari Richardson here?
Fueron parte de las estrellas de los Juegos Panamericanos.
I don't know. I didn't keep up.
Shelley Hansen.
Chat, let me know if she is.
Hoy no están
Lane Johnson.
Elaine Thompson. Es correcto. Y ahí está la delegación mexicana.
Next was wearing pink. I love that.
Aplaudida con Karina Esker del baloncesto 3x3 y Carlos Sansores del taekwondo.
Or the gymnasts from Mexico.
Esta
Las niñas.
muchacha, Karina Esker, es muy recordada por haber encestado esa última canasta en San Salvador para quitarle un oro a Puerto Rico. en
So
la
I'm looking up
3x3.
the roster for
Esa
US
imagen
track.
de San Salvador se quedó impregnada y es lo que termina.
So Richardson is not here.
Esta
Okay.
enorme delegación mexicana que se presenta de esta manera en el Estadio Nacional con sus estrellas. Ya en finales, los clavados, por ejemplo, con la gimnasia y a tratar de mantener ese sexto lugar histórico en el medallero general de los Juegos Panamericanos.
Sí, fueron terceros en Lima con 37 oros y tú nombrabas a las peadonistas, estuvimos hoy en la mañana en esa transmisión a través del Pan Sport Channel. Gabriela Gundes y Alejandro Orozco, ambas medallistas de plata en Tokio. En el sincronizado plataforma de 10 metros están en finales. En el golf también traen a Abraham Anser y Carlos Ortiz, que están en este nuevo circuito y dejaron el PGA para irse al Leaf Sur, el árabe, y llenarse de dólares. Ahí vemos a la presidenta del Comité
That is so
Olímpico
Mexico.
de México desfilando.
I'm gonna go for the completely not national colors.
I love it.
Estrenando este vivo rosa en la chaqueta. El equipo mexicano.
Se está usando mucho el rosa, será Messi que
Sí,
lo volvió
señor,
loco.
totalmente. Ahí está Nicaragua.
Nicaragua, una nación que logró 13 bronces en Lima, versión anterior hace 4 años, y sus abanderados Sema Nancy Ludwig y Orlando Vázquez Jr., ambos de levantamiento de pesas.
Y nos estamos acercando al momento mágico. Ya ha salido de Estación Central el equipo chileno. Seguramente viene por ahí. Todavía nos quedarán unas cuantas naciones, pero sin duda el clímax total es cuando ingrese la roja a este estadio nacional. Ahí está Panamá.
Panamá con sus abanderados Hillary Heron de la gimnasia y
Hillary got to be
la
a flag
Romero del
there.
béisbol. Hillary
Yay.
es nieta de Carlos Chico Heron, una leyenda del béisbol de Panamá.
I'm so happy for her.
De firmar a Mariano Rivera con los Yankees de Nueva York.
Y están respaldados. En este
I know
está
that,
Roberto
like,
Manuel Durán, uno de los
lots of people are going to be
invitados
rooting for
hoy estuvo en el
Blanco,
boxeo apoyando
but
a
I'm really
Reina
rooting
Bailo.
for
El único hombre que ha ganado
Carla
en 5 décadas
Neves,
diferentes campeonatos mundiales de
because
boxeo.
she had to have been walked off the floor at Worlds thinking she qualified for the
Cuidado
Olympics.
con ella, fue finalista en las Diamond League este año. Viene también Ateina Bailon en el boxeo, figura. Carstens en el taekwondo, figuras destacadas también. Trae Panamá en el surf.
Antes de venir a este escenario, Hillary Heron recibió un post muy especial del señor Rubén Blades, felicitándola.
Bueno, aquí está Paraguay, que llega con Agua Marina Espínola de ciclismo y Derlis Ayala de atletismo de la modalidad de maratón como abanderados en estos Juegos Panamericanos Santiago 2023. Por cierto, Paraguay que va a ser la sede de los segundos Juegos Panamericanos Junior en el 2025.
Allá está el conjunto guaraní, sede también de los últimos Juegos Suramericanos de Asunción.
Paraguay ganó su primera medalla de oro con Fabricio Zanotti en el golf en Lima 2019.
Sole, en la última jornada fue eso. En la última jornada.
Estuve mirándolo donde Mito Pereira logró un bronce, el chileno.
Exactamente. Nos preparamos para recibir a
The
Perú.
form book, by the way,
Sí.
basically says that
Aquí está Perú,
the
que trae
Olympic spot
a
should
dos
be
grandes del
between
atletismo, como son
Neves
Tejeda y
and
Nicolás Pacheco.
Blanco,
Grandes del atletismo, Nicolás.
with maybe
Lo
if
habían anunciado
Sí,
de
eran los que estaban anunciados. Sin embargo, no está.
Hay muchos
Brown has a very good day and those two don't, then maybe Brown,
de participar en el desfile de los atletas.
but
Okay.
Sobre
she
todo
would
una
need
prueba
help.
tan exigente como la maratón, que será el próximo 4.
And the Olympic spot is in the final, not in qualification.
Oh, really?
Antes del inicio de la
Yep.
ceremonia estábamos nosotros cambiando los nombres de los abanderados.
Es correcto.
Justamente, y la gran ausencia es el equipo peruano femenino de voleibol, que no logró clasificar frente a Argentina y Colombia en la última ronda posible.
I like those
Y
jackets.
recordemos que Perú tiene glorias en el voleibol
Look,
femenino.
they're so happy.
Medallista de plata olímpica.
Medallistas de plata.
Y ahí está Puerto Rico, con Jan Pizarro en el tiro por arco y María Pérez del judo. Una de las grandes atletas del judo continental. Ha tenido medallas de Grand Prix. Y creo que, Jimmy, tú que estás involucrado en el judo, estos serían uno de los últimos eventos de María, que está aspirando a ser presidente de la Comisión de Atletas de Transport.
Exactamente, María Pérez, que tiene la venezolana. El
I also love how
a esa rival de gran fuerza.
I don't want to say simple this feels like, but it feels sort of more honest than the like highly produced
Y a ver si repite esa historia.
opening ceremonies of the Olympics.
La última medalla había sido en Mar del Plata, 95 para los puertorriqueños.
Yeah, it's going to be decided during the finals.
Nada menos que en el tenis de mesa.
Adriana Díaz, que
It's like Chile just really cry
favorita
because
para
like
ganar el oro. Adriana Díaz.
the world is so
Aunque en el
divided right now.
Panamericano,
Just to see like
celebrado
so
en
many
La Habana,
countries
que en
coming
vez de
together and
septiembre,
like
perdió
for a moment of
Amy
like
Kwan de Estados Unidos.
a couple weeks, like they just have like they're just like have fun and play sports and get together. It makes me emotional.
Una gran delegación. Ivonne Losos de Muñiz, del ecuestre. Y Robert Figosi, del esquí acuático. Gran ovación para la República Dominicana, que de esta manera se presenta y tiene una barra grande aquí en el Estadio Nacional.
That woman is so not enthusiastic about waving that flag.
Tenemos ya una colonia
No way!
enorme,
Oh,
así
Latinos are
como
so
de otras
fun.
naciones también, haitianos, colombianos,
I got these.
Venezolano.
Little watch.
venezolanos
Look.
altos y Perú también han regalado en nuestro país. Así es que tienen su gran barra, así estoy viendo.
Mari Lady Paulino, sin duda del Team Pan Sports, es la gran estrella de la República Dominicana que se va a presentar en estos Juegos.
Viene a correr 200 metros, sí.
Correcto. Y las reinas del Caribe que consiguieron la clasificación olímpica y han traído a la artillería pesada a estos Juegos de Santiago 2023.
No, son clásicas favoritas para ganar el oro.
Vienen de ganar a Estados Unidos, vienen de ganar
Also, let's light prayer circles for Flavi's ankle. She's doing the all around.
Así que
Oh
las
my
reinas
gosh.
del Caribe están para
I mean,
disputar la final.
if she's fine with it, then I'm fine with
Ahí está
it.
el equipo de la República
And
Dominicana.
both doing the all around.
San
One more time.
Cristóbal y Nieves, con Nadal,
She and Jade are both doing the all around.
como
Oh God, those are two ankles.
abanderado.
Those are two
They have
ankles.
two ankles between them.
Yeah, no, maybe one and a half, if we're honest.
Dos de plata, una de bronce. No obtuvieron premios en Lima. Vamos a ver si rompen esa racha aquí en Santiago 2023.
What?
Oh, I said maybe one and a half if they're lucky.
Y el público gozando, viendo la ola.
It's also like, just pointing out, it's early spring. I bet you it's cold.
De la natación y
It's
su
cold there.
compañera de equipo, Kenny Greens.
I mean, it's cold here.
San Vicente y la
It's
Canadá
weird.
tienen 2 medallas de plata
Oh.
en toda su historia. Han competido en todas las ediciones, pero desde el año 1991
Like in the mornings or like in
destacan
really early
la
mornings, you
medalla
got
de plata de
3.
Edward
They went from
Jones
3
en
to
los
like
400
6.
metros en
It's
Mar
so
del
cold here
Plata,
now.
y
I
de
love it.
Hideki
Dry.
Alexander también en los 400 metros.
San
la
Lucia.
plata en Toronto 2015. Santa
like the flag.
Lucía, abanderado, solo uno, Luc Chevrier de la Vela. Lograron 2 medallas en la edición anterior en Lima, una de oro de Valeria Kumiyaki en el karate de 55 kilos. Varias figuras en el atletismo. Naomi London, de 16 años, ganó los Carista Games de Bahamas este año, evento que, adivine, fue transmitido por Panam Sport Channel.
Go.
En la panorámica del Estadio Nacional, Jimmy Sole, es una fiesta total cuando ingresa al Surinam.
Y aquí está Surinam, que trae como abanderados a Jair Chichón Enfa de ciclismo y a Tachana Dalger, también de la misma modalidad. Surinam se ubica en el puesto 22 en el medallero histórico en los Juegos Panamericanos con 3 medallas de oro,
Every time I start crying,
2 de
Klaus
plata
comes like and
y
gives me a
5
hug.
de bronce, 10 preseas en el total en Juegos Panamericanos.
He's a good boy.
La delegación de Surinam.
Se prepara para ingresar Trinidad y Tobago al Estadio Nacional de Chile, que ha encendido las luces de los teléfonos celulares de los asistentes.
That's so cool.
Y ahí
Trinidad
ingresa
y Tobago, que tiene a Nicolas Paul de ciclismo, uno de los mejores ciclistas que hay, de los mejores exponentes de los deportistas a seguir en esta modalidad como abanderado, y a Tayana Gay de boxeo. Son los abanderados de Trinidad y Tobago.
puesto 16 histórico para Trinidad y Tobago, y Nicolas Paul, entre la cantidad de reconocimientos que tiene, está ese récord del mundo que impuso en Bolivia, en la altura, en el sprint, y que sin duda lo convierte en una de las grandes figuras de Trinidad y Tobago.
Isn't Taylor
Tiene la
Swift, like,
garra
playing
charrúa
there?
atrás. Uruguay.
I think she is.
Camila Piñeiro del boxeo y nada menos que Rodrigo Chagas del fútbol son los abanderados de esta delegación celeste que ya ha ingresado en el Estadio Nacional. Uruguay puesto 17 histórico con 12 medallas de oro en Juegos Panamericanos.
Viene con una delegación de 179 deportistas, especialmente muy fuertes en el rugby 7, donde fueron campeones.
I just like the Uruguayan flag.
It's cool. I like the little sun.
Jugador, uno de los mejores jugadores del mundo. Y viene el histórico del salto largo y protagonista de la Diamond League, Emiliano Laza, veterano de los pozos atléticos. Aquí veíamos precisamente en pantalla.
That is so cool.
Y atentos con la ovación porque viene Venezuela. Elvis Bar Rodríguez y Luis Álvarez. En principio era querido Omar Vallenilla, el hombre que debía llevar la bandera, pero
When I was little, I was always get Venezuela and
campeón mundial y
Colombia
medalla de
mixed up.
plata
I don't know
olímpica,
why.
ha dicho que prefiere
The flags are
reservarse para su
similar.
competencia. Muchos venezolanos en Chile.
I was about to ask, is Luisa Blanco here? But I'm like, that's Colombia.
Enorme en este país que de esta manera recibe a Luis Mar Rodríguez y a Luis.
And Venezuela
Luis Mar
is governed by
fue
a
la
dictator, right?
abanderada de los Juegos
Maduro.
pasados de manera oficial. Y acá
Yeah.
Jocelyn Brea no pudo venir a la ceremonia de inauguración. De esta manera, Luis Mar se convierte en la única atleta de Venezuela que ha desfilado 2 veces con la bandera en una ceremonia de inauguración en Juegos Panamericanos.
Datazo, ¿eh?
Una de las medallas de oro, una de las 9 que obtuvo Venezuela en los Juegos pasados. Vemos a María Soto, presidenta del Comité Olímpico y abanderada de los Juegos Olímpicos de Beijing 2008.
No, para mí es favorita aquí para ganar el oro.
Y el Bismar en los 70, actual campeona panamericana, ganadora de medallas de Grand Prix, se inició en los Juegos Olímpicos de la Juventud. Y ahora, al momento, se
No, the Chileans. Look at the baby.
La ovación para Chile y sus abanderados, Cristel Koenig, quien fuera cuarta en el Mundial del 2009 y del 2011, los 1500 metros de la natación histórica. Participante en Juegos Olímpicos y Panamericanos. Y
Who's that in the middle? Who's that
medallista
man?
de oro
The very
en los
tall
Juegos
man.
Panamericanos de
Hello.
Lima 2019,
Hola.
2 veces.
That's if I don't speak
Participante
Spanish.
de los Juegos Olímpicos. Junto a su primo Marco,
Okay,
defienden
I told you
el oro.
go lay down. We're done.
Lima
I'm not crying anymore.
2019, el presidente Boric, ese no es su hijo en todo caso. Él no tiene hijos todavía. Chile presenta la delegación más grande de su historia, 664 deportistas.
664 athletes from Chile.
13 oros, la mayor cosecha jamás obtenida por el país de Chile. Martín Vidaurre podría inaugurar mañana el medallero
That's a
del
shit ton of
mountain bike. Los
athletes.
primos Grimal que defienden el oro, como ya les conté. El
Well, as the host country, they probably get spots in every sport.
Las hermanas Abraham
Oh, that makes
clasificadas ya a
sense.
París
That makes sense.
2024, oro en el 4 y en el doble steam en los últimos
Oh, look at him. He's so
Panamericanos
happy.
de Lima. Francisca Crobeto también es factor en el tiro skid. Gabriel Kier y Humberto Mancilla defienden sus medallas de oro.
But look at the baby. He's asleep. He's over it. I was that baby. I would fall asleep anywhere. I still do to this day.
De los 19novenos.
So this should be the last country. So once they're done, I think we should cut away.
Yeah, we can go straight into the 1991 year of my birth, Panamerican
El
Games.
actual presidente Gabriel Boric, a su lado el presidente del Comité Olímpico Internacional, Tomás Bach, y vemos la ausencia de Neven Illich.
That is so the politician's wife standing next to him, though.
Yeah. I like that he's holding the baby, though. I like that.
64 atletas que van a luchar por superar el octavo lugar que logró.
But that baby was absolutely me. I was that baby. Like I would fall. I mean, like I said, to this day, that's why I don't go out and drink anymore. Because if I get tired, I just sleep. It's game over.
Este 20 de octubre de 2023 quedará en la memoria del deporte chileno y de sus habitantes que han logrado traer la fiesta más grande del deporte de América
Okay,
a este país.
That's
Ahí
fine.
está Chile.
love that for them. Okay, let me get the link.
La pregunta es, ¿cuántos
Okay,
trenes
so
utilizaron para traer este
Adex
montón de
wanted
lugares?
us to watch a Pan Am's tonight, And I picked this one because of basically the amount of time we have of it, and also because it's kind of hilarious. So this was a Pan Am's in Cuba in
Ooh.
August with no air conditioning.
As this aerial shot on May 14th
Are you serious?
shows, the Alejandro Urgeas Hall in Santiago de
You will
Cuba
see.
was far from completion. But just over 2 months later, the site
That's
was
crazy.
all set for the men's and women's gymnastics competition. And tonight, it's the women's compulsories. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Bender, along with Kathy Johnson and Bart Connor. Kathy, 9 of the previous 10 Pan American Games, the U.S. women have won the gold.
The Americans are certainly still the favorites here, though they're not assured of walking away with it. The nice part about this team is there's a nice balance between youth and experience. Youth, Ann Weinarowski, she's the junior national champion this year. This is her first big international competition, so though she's focused, she's a little bit nervous.
Why would they put their weight on there?
Shelley Stack, 1988
Because this is
Olympian.
1991.
She will help lead the
Fair.
United States.
Well, you mentioned the experience, Bart Connor. This Cuban team is so very young.
They are young. In fact, they have a 16-year-old, 4 14-year-olds.
I mean,
and a
they
12-year-old. And
didn't stop
ironically,
putting
the
weights
12-year-old is one
on
of the team leaders.
gymnasts'
Landon
cards
Gonzalez
at
will
U.S.
be 2
Nationals
years
until like
competing in the Olympics next
1997.
year. So for
Wow.
her,
And
this is her Olympic Games, and she is really primed with her coach,
Australia
Renee
still
Sanford,
gave
who is
gymnasts
part of the
weights
Bella
in
Caroli
at
of
2005
Cuban gymnastics.
Worlds.
She's put together a strong team here.
And the
Well, let's go ahead now
BBC
and pick
gave
up
a
the
Chinese
first
gymnast
rotation
weight
of 4
at
rotations
the
as we
Olympics
have
in
4
2008.
teams who are competing here tonight. Well, you have the Brazil team along with
crazy.
Canada, the United States, and Cuba.
And
this is
apparently,
Juliet Van
the
out in
Commonwealth
Tempe,
Games last
Arizona,
year, the
Corona del
website
Sol
listed
High
the
School,
British
just
team's
finishing a
weight,
floor
or
exercise.
the England
There are 4
team.
events, 4 apparatus that the women compete in.
So this
That's
is
wild.
compulsories. They were competing a slightly watered down version of what would be the Barcelona compulsories, because basically the other Pan American countries needed the skills watered down.
Really?
So they were doing a slightly easier vault, a slightly easier bars dismount, and a slightly easier beam dismount, as I recall.
These compulsories are a watered-down version of the Olympic compulsory. Normally, that would have been a back layout with a full twist, but here at the Pan American Games, they just do a layout somersault.
I feel like oftentimes it would have been harder to do a watered down version because if you were a really powerful gymnast, they didn't really work on control. Like Missy Marlowe has said that they didn't really focus on that. And like,
Well,
I can,
the Americans weren't good at compulsories either.
yeah, I can
mean,
imagine
that-
how hard it would be.
They had to make a change to U.S. nationals to make compulsories worth more, just because they were being hammered when they went to internationals, because the Americans were much better optionals gymnasts than they were compulsory gymnasts. But Shannon Miller was like a great compulsories gymnast, and so was Morcino.
Really?
So Morcino qualified third after compulsories in Atlanta,
Wow.
behind Miller and Podkopayeva.
Would I be wrong to maybe infer that the Americans were behind the push for the open-ended scoring system?
No, I don't think so, because the Americans threw a fit about it. I mean, that's why the developmental system is still using the 10.0, is they didn't like it.
Oh. So it wasn't, a ploy for them to win more, I guess.
No, not at all.
It just happened to work out that way.
2 per country, or first 3 per country, and now 2 per country was an American thing, though,
Oh.
because they were tired of the Soviets having like 16 people in the all around.
I can see that.
Which is a handspring over the horse, but you'll notice she pikes deeply here. Very crisp.
Oh, thanks for the follow.
She overpowers it. And takes us
Yay,
up on
Simone.
the
You all have no idea how long it took to rotoscope. Well, rotoscoping means like you're cutting her out of the video. It took so long.
And surprisingly,
So besides the fact that this is an unair conditioned, basically warehouse in Cuba in August.
Oh God.
So at some points you can see them sweating so much when they do bars that like you can see the water coming down their arms.
Oh my God. That's
and
dangerous.
it was changing the consistency of chalk.
And in that respect, they can be quite difficult.
But the other thing about it was that this was a month before 1991 Worlds, and 1991 Worlds was in the United States. It was an Olympic qualifier, so this was a time they sent a B team, basically. I've been arguing on Twitter that the U.S. has frequently sent actually quite good teams to the Pan Am Games, but it just depends on the proximity to Worlds.
Yeah.
Like Shannon Miller is the Pan Am Game champion in 1995 when she was the top of the world. Shawn Johnson in 2007 was there with what?
And in 2011 too, right?
Right, and Nastya Lukin was there for did 2 different Pan Am Games. So the 1987, the 1995, the 1999, and the 2007 Pan Am Games U.S. teams were all basically the backbone of the Olympic teams the next year.
Yeah.
So this idea that the U.S. sends a B team to Pan Am's is kind of a new thing.
I mean, last time it was Kara, Aaliyah, Leanne, Riley, and
Morgan.
Yeah.
But like,
And that's a good team.
yeah, I think it was when
Stephanie is very pretty to watch on the floor because of those long legs.
that people started it's an important competition.
Yeah.
But like, I've been trying to point out to people that Rebecca wants to be here. No one is forcing her to be here.
Yeah, and she was. I mean, this is a huge competition.
So a lot of the Americans here will be mid 90s NCAA stars.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. And I want you to pay attention. At some point, we're going to get a Brazilian on bars, who I think was basically the first Brazilian star gymnast.
Floor exercise, the first rotation just completed by the USA. By the Cubans. However, the Cuban women have really struggled at the uneven bars. After the first rotation,
so the Cubans were cursed here. Anya Hatch, or Anya Portando at the time, had an appendectomy, I think, just like a couple of weeks before this. And their star gymnast here is going to injure herself.
This is her best event and her
and
favorite event.
so they would have been pushing the Americans, but they just had issues.
I just feel like there's like flashes of brilliance in Cuban gymnastics, like Marie Lardouet.
Stephanie Woods, who is strong.
Anya Hatch.
So Stephanie Woods here is going to be a star in this team, and she was a big NCAA star in the 90s.
I don't know much about NCAA in the 90s, or really the early 2000s. I kind of got into NCAA, it had to have been 2011? Oh, no, I watched a couple of Courtney Goupette meets, I think. I watched Nationals in 2009.
She was really trying to stick that vault, and unfortunately held back a little bit in the air so she would drop it in and had to
So
backward, under-rotated the ball.
one of the things I love about watching this particular meet is Kathy Johnson's progressive horror as the crowd starts cheering when Americans mess up.
You can see right here she lays back.
That's funny.
for that stick.
It happens more in optionals.
We're going to go to the beam now, live. This is Canada's Colleen Johnson. She had an injury earlier this week on the uneven bars, hurt her neck.
She had a terrible fall, and it looked as if she might not even compete. And the Canadians would have had to compete with only 5 gymnasts. She had a fall on her first event on the uneven bars.
We understand now that the Cubans on the uneven bars had an average score of 9.21. That's a disaster.
That is a disaster.
A young team like that can happen, huh?
The United States will certainly move ahead in this rotation. And I'll tell you what, Canada is...
But thank you everybody for joining us. Hi Pikachu, hi Letty, hi Duchien, SMK, Boondongle.
All the gymnasts have been
So shout out to y'all. Thank you for joining us in our, reacting to the 1991 Pan American Games. We just watched Jordan Childs bringing the flag for the U.S. at the 2023 Pan American Games, and we'll be starting the competition tomorrow at like 4:15 p.m. Central, 5:15 Eastern, and so forth and so on. So make sure you join us for that. If you don't want to watch on here, that's fine. You can always. Right now, this is being streamed on YouTube, on Facebook, and Twitter. Those platforms do not have ads. This is the only one that does because Twitch is annoying because I'm an affiliate. So if you don't want to watch this with ads, go ahead and go to those platforms. That's fine. You can still do it in the chat. We'll still see your message. And yeah, just enjoy. I'm reacting.
We'll be back with more. The oldest on this team at 19 years of age, the leader of the Canadian team, and we've been talking about the Cubans.
So the oldest on a team is 19.
Are very tight right now.
She's the leader.
That Leo does not look Canadian.
It doesn't. It looks like
Very well on the balance beam. They have a score of
one of the leaders just saw.
they will certainly throw out
It looks like a make it or break it Leo.
It does.
5 scores on each event. They can drop that
It
one low
does. And Kameka, where you at?
So do you see what I mean when I am calling this like a glorified warehouse?
Yeah, no, and it's giving hot. Like they look hot and miserable. Like when I'm hot, I am miserable. I sweat so much. It's not even
Like you
funny.
can see she's sweating as she's walking.
Even in like this, like what is it? 140p.
Yeah, even in this like terrible resolution, you can see them sweating.
Yeah, and then, do you know they're sweating?
all the way over and pirouette.
Ugh, poor girl.
She should repeat that
And they're marching.
here.
Could you imagine trying to get the current U.S. team to march like that?
No.
Right off the bat.
So Simone would look at me and be like, "No, we're not doing that." It's funny, but
They're
no.
really hoping for a big score here. They were shaky earlier.
They already had 2 breaks on the uneven bars. They have 3 low scores, 8-9-5, 9-1-5, and a 9-1. And they're going to have
So,
to count at least 2 of them.
The Cubans were really, before the Americans were competitive internationally at Worlds, the U.S. versus Cuba was the big shit Pan American Games rivalry. Because you got to remember, well,
Like a funding.
no, I think it's just that the U.S. got so much better than the Cubans were, and you have to remember the U.S. was, in the 80s, the U.S. won a total of 3 world's medals, none of them gold.
Oh wow. Oh well, yeah, a different time. Yeah.
And that's both men and women.
Really? Oh, it was
She is practicing warming up now on the
Thomas?
bars. That'll be the next
No.
no.
So in the 80s, the U.S. world's medals were Julianne McNamara, a bronze on bars in 1981, Tracy Talavera, a bronze medal on beam in 1981, and Brandy Johnson got a silver on vault in 1989.
Oh wow.
And the men won nothing.
Miss Andre.
So the thing is, I don't think the Cubans got worse per se. I think the U.S. just got better. So this is the video of the opening ceremonies.
But this is some of the festivities, and there he is, the president of Cuba, Fidel Castro.
Fidel.
And maybe a welcome sign here just for you, Bart. They put this together.
It's so crazy.
One of the most amazing things they do here, the card section in the stands is just unbelievable.
Pablo Lari, who is a weightlifter for Cuba, was given the honors to light the flame.
Come here.
You don't need any heat in this area, though, do we? It has been warm.
Yeah, so that's people in the crowd holding up cards.
Idea how involved this city is, which
Can you imagine like messing that up?
And
Like flipping up the wrong color. I would. I feel like I'd be one of those people that just messes up. Like, oh, sorry. Flip.
This is Hillary Anderson.
One second. Be right back.
It goes into rotation number 3. We hope you'll stay with us when we come back. The United States right now with the lead.
And look at how much she's sweating.
1 point and hoping to do well on this third ahead of Canada, as Canada did not have a good apparatus, the beam, as we're looking at Juliet Bangutter getting ready for the uneven bars, and this is the third rotation.
This is Juliet's best event. So her optional routine is actually better than her compulsory. Of course, we'll be seeing the optional routines day after tomorrow. Men's optional goes tomorrow.
Is that better? Yeah?
We
Way
mentioned
better?
that the gymnasts have had a little trouble adjusting to the equipment, not just the Americans, but all the gymnasts. And there are a couple
water?
of tricky parts of this routine where the gymnasts
gave you
have to
water.
really push the right
You
close
good?
to a handstand to get the bonus points back from the judges. And
So again, look at how much she's sweating.
She looks like she's so shiny.
I actually think it affects it in a positive way because it makes the consistency of the chalk much more sticky with that humidity, and you're able to hold on. Now, if you're sweating too much, then it can run down and make it a little slippery.
What she said?
Tough waiting like this, huh?
Yes.
Even though you're a veteran, I would think that you get a little antsy.
I'm not sure what Kathy means by that, but okay.
Me either. Like,
You are to this position.
I just know that I am miserable. When I am like working out and like sweating profusely, I'm miserable.
And this was like an era when like the long sleeve Leo was not a choice; it was a requirement.
Prior to Juliet.
Very nicely done, right to the handstand position.
But also, like, do you really want to be wearing white in this?
No. That's the last color I want to wear when I'm like sweating and just hot.
That's one of the best compulsory bar routines I've ever seen Juliet do. It's taking
Although,
to go right up to that handstand
like,
because you could
poor
easily
Carrie
go
Strug in the Barcelona in the optionals, her Leo starts to bleed from all the colors from all of the sweat. So there's this close-up of her on vault where you can see all the sweat stains in her arms.
And a nicely
Oh my
done
gosh.
laid out flyaway and a good landing.
And Juliet enjoying
So the real Barcelona compulsory has a twist in that the bars dismount.
In the uneven bars. Stephanie Woods is due up next.
She is so pleasant. She's always
So where
very
did
casual
Stephanie
around
Woods
the
go to
gym. Her
college? Let me look
demeanor,
that up.
She doesn't seem to be bothered
I'm
by
gonna
the pressure of this
guess.
situation at all.
Here's Stephanie, she's had a 9.45 and a 9.4 in her first
I'm gonna
two
guess she went
rotations.
to Georgia.
Kristen McDermott, we're going to go back on tape.
No. I'm
You-
gonna say
She
Alabama.
was first on the uneven bars, and she
Yeah,
put
Bama.
in 9.5. Here it is.
I'm gonna go Bama.
most critical routines in the competition.
So Woods went to
For the event. Kristen did a very nice
Come on.
job with both those handstands.
Alabama.
Yes.
McDermott
Again, right
went
to the
to
handstand. Three hip circle to handstand.
Georgia.
And the layout flyaway.
No, she was Utah. I'm gonna say Utah.
Arizona.
Oh, I was wrong.
And then Banter
who
followed
else is
her,
here?
And now Stephanie Woods. Here she is. She only weighs what?
So they stack.
100 and, well,
So
69
Shelley
pounds.
Stack, I don't remember where she went to college offhand, so let me look that up.
That's what it is.
I'm gonna say she went to Utah.
So Stack was the most experienced gymnast they have here,
Let's go back and watch it.
but she was also kind of in the shit house with USAG because she complained about Bella openly.
Really impressive. A lot of the gymnasts have been having trouble with
salute
that
you.
hop to the low bar because it really should end up in handstand.
Wow, she hit every just the way you're supposed to.
She's really off well, isn't she?
She's very technically sound, which is very important in the compulsory.
Now we have a score on Bangutter, a 9.42 on her uneven
Stack is
bar.
one of those
Weight
people
down
who
Woods.
got like
Stephanie Woods score, 9.425
labeled as
is the correct score.
trouble
on Bangerter.
Because she did a lot of gym hopping and was open about how terrible her coaches were. And I kind of wonder if she would have been treated better in an era when you didn't demonize people for that. I don't have college for her, so I don't know if she did NCAA.
You love to hate it and hate to love it. It's a great event.
You know, for as much shit as I give Kelly Garrison, man,
14 years old, out of Havana.
she would have this damn thing. OU.
Woods, by the way, 9.625, and that's the best for the
Kelly Garrison is, whatever you think of her as a commentator, she was doing probably one of the hardest beam routines of the 1980s and being rewarded for none of it.
Yeah.
Like a full twisting beam, like round off beam mount.
It still bears her name.
It's still the hardest beam mount in the code.
Yeah.
And
keeping with that point, Kathy, all the athletes
like
seen it
have been really,
maybe twice.
loose, and particularly the Cubans. They're having a lot of fun. Perhaps the home crowd making them feel so comfortable.
And I find it so random that Tina Erceg is the one that got the Arabian Mountain named.
well, like I said, after we watch this, I'm going to make you watch that Schaefer training video because I want to introduce people to what I think would be the most hilarious thing of next year.
I guess. Well, I'll save my judgment until then. Like I can see it happening.
Save your judgment until you see the video.
Yeah.
We'll do it after.
Most of these gymnasts have not competed in high-level competition. Very nice landing on the round-off layout dismount.
She's one of the many young Cubans they're hoping to be around in 1996 for the Olympics in Atlanta.
That's so
Kelly
crazy.
Stack has been given a 9.6 on the uneven bars. So the United States strong on the uneven bars as we go back to Benitez.
Watch the control necessary on the mount. Jump to the handstand, lowers down, takes strength, balance,
Beauty.
flexibility.
She is beauty. She is
This
grace.
is really one of the best parts of her exercise.
The Cuban gymnasts here are really, they're raw, but also really good. And like I said, whenever they show that Brazilian bars worker, she's stunning.
What was it, Kathy?
I mean, I've seen flashes of brilliance from the Cubans. It's just politics, I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, this is also compulsories, and compulsories are a little hard to watch if you're a modern viewer.
I find them honestly still boring. Like, if I don't know if I would have
I
made
like
it.
watching Olympic compulsories, but this is a little hard.
More to come
Yeah.
in the weeks to come. And we'll be
decided tonight in Havana, Cuba.
Is this
We've been bouncing around tonight.
So I think we might have to go to the next video. So floor compulsories had the same music except for in 1972 when they decided to be experimental.
Ooh,
So you would like 8 hours sitting in an arena listening to the same music over and over and over again.
Yeah, I do not. I would not make it through that. I would not. And I'm saying that with all the love in my heart. With all the love in my heart.
So the Cuban men were the shit, by the way.
I can imagine. Ooh.
The Cuban legend, Casimiro Suarez, crashed on top of the bar.
Ooh.
Then the most dramatic moment of the night by Jose Tejada. This fall, as he told us, didn't hurt his body, but it broke his heart. His face said it all. When it was all over, the Cuban men set a new Pan Am team record in winning the gold. And that brings us to tonight, the final night of the women's team competition. The results after the compulsories find the United States on top by 2.725 over Cuba. Brazil is in the third position. Remember now, the compulsories count 50% toward the team total. Canada is in fourth, Argentina and Mexico to follow. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Bender, along with Kathy Johnson and
Oh, I
Bart
think
Connor.
this has one of the worst U.S. Leos ever coming up, I think.
The Americans have a substantial lead.
It's not great. Oh, there's another one? Oh, this is optional, right? This is optional.
Yeah, this is optional, so you get a new Leo here. And I can't remember which phase has the worst one to me.
I mean, I
So-
feel like they were all like kind of awful in this era.
No, I mean this one is special bad.
Special bad.
I just don't remember which phase we'll see it in.
That's funny.
It's the red one, whichever.
My question is it going to be like last night? Well, last night was certainly one of the wildest gym meets I've ever seen, and it looks like it's going to be that way tonight as well. It's interesting, we talked to the U.S. Tony Game, and we said, what are you saying to the U.S. girls about how to deal with this crowd? And he said, although the crowd will be cheering primarily for the Cubans, for the U.S. girls to draw on the energy in the building and hopefully use it to motivate themselves. We'll see if they can do it.
Let's go to the action
So-
now.
One of my favorite things here is just how shocked Kathy is because she can't figure out why the crowd hates the Americans. And I'm like, it's Cuba,
They are packed in here.
and it's like 30 years into the, or 20, like 30 years into the blockade.
Battle for the team goal.
Yeah, the embargo.
United States, as we mentioned right now, with a decided advantage. This young Cuban women's
And the Americans are leading by a lot, so of course the crowd is going to cheer when they
Yeah.
like fall on their faces.
Well, it's like when the crowd cheered when Peng Lee fell.
Georgina Benitez. Out of
So this
Havana.
Cuban Leo was like
She hopes to be
the Leo they wore forever.
1996.
Very Georgia.
Georgina had a little bit of
Like
trouble on the
almost
ball
all of
team, even
Anya Orlando Hatch's
one of the weaker
Cuban career was in this Leo.
in terms of physical strength.
Can you imagine?
With the first release maneuver,
The
reverse
gym
pass.
trainer would eat them up alive today if they did that. It's not like the British. Like the British have been wearing the same one for like almost a decade.
And the British Leo is really ugly.
It is. The optionals was like where you would throw your difficulty, right?
Yeah, so the optionals is basically what we do now is optionals.
Okay.
In fact, Benitez was 9-1-5.
So this is going to be more what we know.
Okay.
She made a good transition down to the low bar, worked back up to the high bar. Her giant swings are very powerful. You'll notice in her
Yeah, so
double
this
back
is a
fist
really
walk,
good
her legs are
gymnastics.
apart a little bit,
Yeah.
and she takes a little bit of a
Oh,
step
she
on
didn't
the
even like
leg.
grab her
Couple of
legs
tenths
in
of
that double
point,
tuck.
but she was excited about getting through that exercise.
I really love watching them compete. They look like they have so much fun, and they're the same in practice.
So cowboying is a deduction at this point, but it's only a new deduction, so don't expect like a harsh
On the far side of the floor.
judgment on for cowboying.
Juliet Bangerter with a 9-3.
So yeah, like I'm halfway,
Hillary Anderson,
more a little bit more than halfway through
9-3-2-5.
the
We're gonna
editing
come
the
back.
artistry video.
We'll be bringing you this
And let me
action
tell
in
ya,
rotation number 1. 4
it's-
rotations here in the
Well,
women's
I really
optionals
want
for
you
the
to
team
watch
goal.
the Euros
Let's go
beam
now.
final again
Parallel bars.
now that you've watched that video so much, because you will understand why Molluski wins that over a Champon.
Okay.
This routine is
Yeah, no, like-
absolutely brilliant.
Especially having to like make graphics for it and like make it more concise. I've learned so much and just like
He shows terrific
it's
underbar work.
a lot of it's one of those like, well, yeah, that's of course that's what they're looking for, but some of it I'm just like that makes so much sense.
So could you imagine cutting away from WAG to show MAG?
Never, not once.
Just gorgeous, Bart. Very interesting.
Although that is gorgeous parallel bar work.
It is.
And with that performance, the second 10 that we've had. Eric Lopez had
Good
a
for
10 in
him.
the compulsories of
Oh my
the
gosh.
book, and now
Hold
a
on.
10
I'm
here in the parallel bar.
I'm gonna show you guys a graphic that I used for the what do you call it?
Reminds me of Vladimir Artyomov from the Soviet Union.
For the artistry video. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. Hold on.
So Eric Lopez was one of the big Cuban mags of the 1990s, and he was really good.
Watch this combination done all week.
Okay.
Just
Do you see
like
it?
this.
It's just
The Diamond off and a quarter, right to the Healy turn and a backstep forward
Look at Donatella. It's so funny.
That is great.
And I used it for when she goes, "Sorry, don't ask me." I'm going along with what they said. I have her like
Yeah.
pop up. It's so funny.
She's so much more human after you watch that video enough.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%.
And now, like, when you hear the gymnast tell stories about her wandering around podium training, giving advice, she seems more like a grandmother.
She does. No, she does. She I like her.
Yes, these are windows on the sleeves.
In women's gymnastics, you can do 2 vaults, and the best
They're what?
of the 2 count. She scored a 9.8.
Those are windows on the sleeves.
Score in the first rotation, as far as Cuba's concerned, Leonette
Why?
had a 9.6 on the high bar.
This is the one I hated.
Hillary Anderson getting ready to go live now on the high bar.
It's even like a cold
Yeah, so
shoulder.
look. Yeah, so those windows go all the way down the sleeves.
Her father passed away a couple of months ago, less than a couple of months ago, and she has dug in and really focused her attention
Why?
on her gymnastics and has been doing a great job for the U.S. team.
I've never seen this American Leo anywhere else but here.
Rightfully so.
It is the worst American Leo of that era, except for the one that is see-through that they made Kim Zmeskal wear.
Oh my gosh. Then there's also this one. This one I made with a generative fill in Photoshop. She says B for banana.
Had a break in the routine, but managed to cover pretty well.
So great.
Well, the judging has been taking forever at this
Oh,
competition. Don't you hate
I'm having a fun time with it.
I think this is the worst
I might make
I've
them
ever
emotes
seen
in the
Bart.
channel because they're just too
I've been
good.
stuck in
They're
this
too good.
situation, waiting for the judges, but every single routine.
Yeah.
I'm glad you are getting amusement out of watching that video.
Hillary has nice
I've watched it at least 4 times now, like all the way through.
Like I said, it makes everything make more sense.
Yeah. I wish it was like more updated because there's a lot of things that I think a couple things that have changed, but like it's still a really great. It's like way to
Yeah.
go. Oh, I love a flyaway twisting dismount.
Nice routine, not stocked full of difficulty, but she had the nice release move in the beginning and a pretty double twist.
Yeah, that's a really solid.
Hillary in her first international competition as a member of a
I wonder why Austin never did one of those.
So I think this is the only entry I have for this gymnast. So she must not have stayed around for very long.
Hillary really dug in. This full turn over the top, right to this move called a Tkachev. A reverse hex back over the bars. Done perfectly.
It's nice to see Hillary competing so well.
So after Pan Am's this week, I am going to. Well, here's what we're gonna do. I've told Catherine about this kind of, but like not at length. So my idea was that I really wanted to show you guys the entire process of the creative process of actually making Adex at night, so you guys understand like when I say like it's a huge undertaking for me alone at least, like doing all the technical stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna essentially.
Is that a window under the number?
It is. That is a That is. It is.
What the hell?
The 90s were not nice to anybody.
For the United States.
Neither were the early 2000s.
Well, I mean, it's probably hot as hell in that arena, but still.
Very focused on this.
I'm sure they're enjoying the little like breeze they get every once in a while.
She really wants to do well.
But yeah, the idea is that I'll be going live on Twitch as I'm filming the show because my camera, the camera I'll be using with the green screen or whatever, can do that. So you'll get to see like the live feed in the green screen. I will record the show or whatever, and then so you'll get to see like me recording it live, and then like me doing the retakes or whatever, and all that whole process. And then you'll see me. I'll kind of bring you guys into for like the editing process. So you can see like how I edit it, how I do the graphics or whatever. And so you get to see the entire behind the scenes and all that goes into that, and like how it's not easy. Like it's like having to re-record certain segments or like having to like redo certain segments just so you guys can understand like the entire process. And I don't think that's ever like people have ever done that, because what you see from creators is always like the finished product. It's beautiful, it's fantastic, but like what goes into that is so much more than you would ever think. So we'll be doing that probably right after Pan Am's, because the first episode's going to be about misinformation, and I'll be covering, the agache and what's the name?
We've said this before in our program.
Well, the whole agache thing. I'll be covering the Sunni and Zincastic thing, and I'll be covering the Shonen and Nastia Foleade. And then we'll go into my own experience with misinformation, and then we'll go into the current situation in Israel and that misinformation and how it all ties in together. And then the last part will be, just
that routine could do well at NCAA now.
Yeah.
And women's gymnastics.
I mean, watching this kind of meet really tells you, like, how much NCAA and elite has diverged.
Yeah.
Canada and Brazil battling for the bronze as Juliet Bangerter now on the beam for the United States.
Juliet really has a very unique balance beam routine. There's a lot of difficult tumbling and difficult dance elements as well.
You hear the crowd going crazy. They're booing and whistling against the score of the Cuban girl on the floor exercise that was happening.
Oh, no. This is the United States' third fall on the balance beam. Hillary Anderson was first up, had a fall. Ann Wojnarowski had a fall.
So that lead that they had extended all of a sudden may be diminishing. Hernandez, by the way, the whistling a while ago, she got a 9.35 on the floor.
Two back handsprings into a layout step out. Very nicely done. Extremely hard to concentrate in this arena.
The crowd.
Oh, a double turn.
Juliet in practice was doing this routine with such ease, had no trouble at all.
The crowd really a factor here. Not normally a factor in a gymnastic competition, but here in Cuba, definitely a problem for the U.S. girls.
So Pan Am crowds have always been kind of famously a factor, by the way.
And when to do what they're doing.
I can imagine.
That an audience will cheer when someone falls, and they in fact are cheering.
Latinos were different.
I love this. Can you rewind just a little to listen to Kathy complaining?
And also you can see these men, they're terrible to land in. They buckle.
Let me see.
And also you can
Do
a problem for the U.S. girls.
I'm not sure they understand the sport when they know when to cheer and when to do what they're doing.
Oh, fuck you.
that an audience will cheer when someone falls, and they in fact are cheering when the United States falls. Comes the dismount.
So,
and a double twist.
like, Kathy Johnson is a sweet summer child there that doesn't understand why the Cuban crowd is cheering when the U.S. falls.
It's not going well on the beam right now for the United
That's funny.
Like, can you imagine being in Cuba, seeing the conditions in Cuba,
Here was the trouble that she had.
and saying that?
Running front somersault.
It's one of those things like
Into a split jump.
to
Actually, that
have.
was not her
I
broken
can only imagine
fall.
what it was like to have been there. But now rewatching it back, it's wild.
In the
But like, can you
air.
imagine like
It's a
having
very
been there in
difficult
person?
dance task, but she normally
Like-
has no trouble with it. And it does
Like-
turn another difficult dance element.
Cuba was one of the wealthiest countries
What a
in the
shame, that's a
Caribbean
full point off on the
before
two balls alone.
the
So
embargo.
Hillary Anderson a 9.05, Wojnarowski 8.975.
It's just crazy,
So they
like-
want to throw that one out. So they are really struggling, and
Oh,
there's
no.
been a lot of counseling going on.
The history of the
Patty,
world
or I
is
should say,
wild to
Kathy,
me.
After every one of the beam routines.
But, like,
One
And
point
it's
I
not
wanna
just
make
the
here.
windows on the sleeves,
Juliet
it's the
Bangerter over on the end of the
alternating
line.
white
A really clutch performance
edging
when the Americans needed it
on
over
the
there. They
windows on
started
the
out
sleeves.
Is it
pretty
crushed
slow,
velvet?
and she picked it up for them.
No, this is too early for crushed velvet.
Fortunate to see her have mistakes here.
It looks
One
like
of the
it.
delightful people we've followed in the competitions getting ready
I think they're
now
just
for the
sweaty.
floor exercise. Leonette Gonzalez, 12 years old. By the way, Bangerter's score now has been posted at 8.55.
Although, I guess there's illusion fabric or something because,
in a particular apparatus.
like,
that may be
Woods has white lady
unprecedented, huh?
arms.
There has to be like some like little like fabric underneath it, maybe like a liner.
77 pounds.
Yeah, and they've given her white lady skin tone.
Began gymnastics at the age of 5.
It's crazy. We just recently got like color correct taping.
The Olympic Cup finished 6th all around.
At some point, you and I should go through like the worst Leos, and one of my hated ones is this French one with where they gave repeatedly a dark-skinned French gymnast this Leo with white lady illusion fabric.
They were waiting on a score from
one of my
has a 9-5.
I can't say favorite, but like it's so bad that it's good was the one that Cecile wore that WCT girls like created.
The splash one. Cecile had some wild Leos.
I actually like recreated that digitally for Cecile at one point. Like, remaking that in Photoshop, it was so difficult. There was like no real good pictures of it.
Ask her, is it difficult to be a dedicated gymnast
in
this country?
They asked
so
for
I think this is the gymnast who's going to get injured.
Oh, nosy poses.
I don't know when she gets injured, but it's a ankle.
In this country, gymnasts start at a young age. At about
they actually asked for the digital file. I think they might have used the picture I made Cecile to remake that Leo for their WCT girls. I'm not sure on that, but they did ask for the file.
The best are chosen, and they advance in their class.
Why are there plants next to the floor?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you is this so that they'll break their fall into the plants?
Nice middle. Oh no! A difficult middle tumbling run. Oh, another fall.
Oh yeah, she's in pain.
It's tough for anybody, but for a 12-year-old.
She's in pain.
Kathy, she's crying.
Yeah.
So she's going to keep going because if she doesn't present on all the pieces, she can't do event finals.
Oh, she's in pain.
As I had said, she has trouble with the groin muscle. It's been hurting her.
Okay, it's a groin muscle, not an ankle. Sorry.
And I'm sure those falls didn't help.
So she's going to vault.
Is she really?
Or no, she's gonna. I think she's gonna touch the horse. But the crowd isn't gonna understand it.
It hurts her when she runs. So to try and generate enough speed in the tumbling pass with the run is very difficult. Oh, you can tell. She has trouble pulling her legs up. She wasn't even in a tight tuck.
Yeah, I know. I've pulled a hamstring before. That hurts. I don't imagine a groin muscle.
9.65. So maybe that's a breakthrough.
But I remember when I broke a rib, I was spotting a girl, and she's like, I don't know what she did. She supposed to just lay out off the beam, but she started twisting, and her legs hit me right on the side of the ribs, and it broke one of mine.
Yeah, so she's just not getting enough power.
Leonette Gonzalez, 12 years old from
Even
Cuba.
breathing hurt when my rib was broken.
Emotion and a packed house.
Sucked.
So Leonette Gonzalez is one of the.
Coming up.
I think she's around forever. Let me see.
And welcome back to the Alejandro Ortega Hall in Santiago de Cuba. We're ready now for the
When was
fourth
the
and
last
final
time we
rotation
saw
in
her?
the finals of the women's team competition. And after 3 rotations, the United States well on their way to the gold now. Over 4-point lead. Cuba in second. Canada now in the third position, hanging on for the bronze, and Brazil in the 4th spot. Hillary Anderson now ready to go for the United States on the floor exercise.
So Leonette Gonzalez, who's the one who's injured, had a career that spanned 1990
from the 2 top teams
through 2003.
Wow.
No, sorry, not 2003, 2004. She was at the 2004 Olympics.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
Right double back, landed a little bit low, managed to save it.
So, like, she was on teams with Anya Hatch when Anya was a Cuban national champion, and at the Olympics where Anya Hatch was medaling for the United States.
Was Anya Hatch like the last? Well, I mean, I'm not saying she's like being Cuban doesn't make you a good citizen. But, like, she's the last one from another country to compete for the U.S.
I believe so.
That's crazy.
It wasn't. It didn't happen often at all, anyway.
That's
But
crazy.
Anya Hatch was a really special gymnast.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, we should just like watch Anya Hatch's career, because we do not talk enough about how amazing she was.
The Anya Hatch perspective, I'm so here for that. We should do Anya and Mohini.
Her tumbling's not as strong as some of the top athletes.
I am still so angry that NBC didn't show a single routine of Anya Hatch at the Olympics.
Her score in the floor exercise.
She made the team, and they showed no routines.
You know what I'm mad about still?
This is her second ball.
Gutsu fan.
So I think I know what strike took them down, because I got struck that day too. And it's so stupid.
She's only
What was
14
it?
years old. The Cuban team has 4 14-year-olds and 1 12-year-old.
Stuttgart local gym federation struck people who had the DTB Pokal from this year.
On the afterflight.
She's from Havana, 14 years old. So
And I don't even know, like, I don't know why they struck people instead of just blocking the videos, which is what normally happens.
Yeah.
For a class where they have math.
That's so crazy.
But it wasn't like the German Fed, it was the, like,
Local broadcaster?
Stuttgart. It wasn't even the local broadcaster, it was the Stuttgart area gym Fed. It would be like the Texas branch of USAG.
That's crazy.
But since I got the strike at basically the same time Gutsu fan disappeared, that's what I think happened.
I've been.
They must have been on that must have been their third strike.
The only copyright strike I have on this Twitch right now is from USAG. USAG claimed nationals and claimed the World's Trials last year. But I emailed Annie and I was like, Annie, what are you doing? She didn't respond.
Well, I took YouTube's copyright course, and hopefully my strike will disappear in 90 days.
Okay.
But I then started uploading a bunch of Euros, so we'll see.
Fuck it. You were like, fuck it. I'm gonna go all in.
I went and tried to replace the things that disappeared that I could replace from Gutsu fan.
Yeah. Well, like, I think her name is Emily on Twitter. How she says she's like, the IOC should be the one to like have all these meets up. If they're gonna claim things or whatever, they should be the ones to provide the content. And it was like the IOC doing something sensible for once. You're asking too much.
And it's not even the IOC, because Gutsu fan was really careful about never putting up any Olympic content.
Yeah.
She's really a powerful tumbler. Kathy, you're right.
But there should be, for all intents and purposes, a full-out like, gymnastics resource where you can go watch meets from whenever. I mean, yes, USAG has Flip Now, but that's mostly US-centric meets.
Yeah, so USAG has basically every American meet up on their YouTube channel.
And the Flip Now as well.
Moments ago, this is her second ball.
They should also, like, we've yet to ever see a full broadcast of the 2008 Beijing Olympics men's team final. And I've always wanted to watch that.
Do you know what's weird to me that's gone is there's nothing on YouTube from the 2014 or 2018 Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, why are you, the Commonwealth Games, striking things on YouTube?
Because they're British.
Kristen McDermott is ready to go next. Wojnarowski now with a 9.65 is the score that she has been given.
That haircut. I know she's like 13, but still, that haircut.
My mom got that haircut when I was really young, and I was so upset. Like, she picked me up from daycare, and I was not having it. I made her cry. So I was just like, "You're not my mom." So I got in the car, and this lady had short hair. And I was like, "Who's this lady?"
That window on the back below the number is bothering me now.
It is.
I think I like blocked it out from my mind.
It's not great.
86 pounds. Boy, can she fly.
Like, could you imagine using this as floor music now?
Every time I hear, hell, I get annoyed with the oscillating trumpets in one of the songs that girls use a lot currently. So if I heard this, I was like, what?
So this is not bad tumbling for America, like American B team from this period.
No. But I can just imagine, like, as a coach, being like, yes, this is it. This is the song. It's like, girl, this sucks.
Well, like, why in the world was 2004 the year everyone did big band? Like, big band is something you dance to with a partner, not, like, alone.
Yeah, it's like a foxtrot thing. Like, foxtrot? No, it's not it.
Like, this is not alone dancing music either.
No. Maybe they felt there was, like, Latin enough, you know.
No, I mean, they weren't. She was probably picked this routine trying to get to Worlds.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, this is really the B team. Worlds was in the U.S.
It was in Fort Worth, wasn't it?
What?
Were they in Fort Worth?
They were in Indianapolis. This is a month before the Kings of Mexico Worlds.
Oh, okay. The 88 Worlds were in Fort Worth.
The 79 Worlds were in Fort Worth.
And there was another one, the two, right? In 88? No?
Nope.
Huh.
88 was an Olympic year.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
So, 79 in Fort Worth, 91 in Indianapolis, 96 in Puerto Rico, which, you know, if you count, 2003 in Anaheim.
I wish we'd get Worlds again. I would love to go to Worlds.
I'm betting that the USA gets a World for the next 5 years.
I wish we would get 2025. That'd be awesome.
I would not be surprised if they're trying to get Lily to do 2025 Worlds.
I have a feeling I know what she's going to do.
Where would you put Worlds if we had it here in America?
Because the rules state if she plans to continue in the competition, meaning compete in the
I would
individual
put it
event
in.
finals, you cannot scratch an event. You have to make an appearance. So that's my feeling. I'm just guessing, but
I think the Pacific Northwest.
that way.
Like Seattle, maybe?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. So that'd be cool.
I'm also surprised at one other thing.
Seattle hasn't had a major gymnastics meet in a long time.
Because you said I was going to Seattle.
They had a Goodwill Games.
And Seattle's a cool city. Gay friendly.
I've never been surprised.
Progressive.
It has been confusing at times.
Yeah.
I selfishly, I would want them in either Fort Worth or like Lubbock.
So the crowd does not understand what's going on here.
To go over the vault itself, the horse, or
So they think she's actually gonna like.
The board and the horse.
They think she's gonna vault.
The most famous incident was when Nadia Comaneci did it in 1979 in the World Championship. She had an infection in her hand and could
So
not
did she have an infection in her
compete
hand?
all-around, obviously, but she had made balance beam final. Well, she had to compete for the team.
She says she doesn't. I'm not sure why she would lie at this point.
And compete
Right.
on the balance beam for them, she had to make an appearance. Yep, that's what she's doing.
Can you imagine this crowd? They have no idea what happened there.
The crowd's like, what just happened?
Concludes rotation 4 here in the women's teams finals.
Yeah, so she's in a position to be in the beam final. And if she doesn't touch the vault there, she can't be in the beam final.
Not the water commercial.
The women's team competition. A score of 380.775. 4 points more than the silver medal winners, Cuba.
How long are the event finals?
Was Canada, who captured
I think the all around in the event finals are like, one of them is like 20 minutes and the other one is 30 minutes. So it's not that long.
Okay.
I think the lows came from, we saw youth and inexperience out there.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm like a little tired.
A lot of talent out there that I think we're going to see a lot.
Like,
it's not that long.
Okay. And you know what? I blame Donatella. Just having to sit here and like decipher what she's saying and try to put it into concise words. It's just so difficult. Not because I can't understand
her. So why don't we skip to the next one?
Okay. Because she literally is like waxing poetic about some things. I'm just like, Donatella, keep moving, girl. Come on, keep moving.
She's Italian. What do you expect?
Yeah, she is. Some things she say make me crack up so hard. Just like her little like. I think it's because I don't know what it is. I think it's the way certain people like learn English, and by that I mean like just the sentence structure they use. Like my dad, some things he says, I'm just like, I just say it like that. But I mean, to them, it's just how like what makes sense because that's how you would say things in Spanish or the structure of how you would say it in Spanish. So I can only imagine that he's trying to use the same like convention for like Italian to English.
Yeah.
And so I just find it so funny because I'll sit here and just try to understand. And I'll take it to my mom. She goes, "Oh, she means this." And I'm just like, "How did you get that from that?" Just because I understand.
We are going to have
That's so funny.
In the women's all-around competition. The vault, the uneven bars, balance beam, and floor exercise.
I love how they felt the need to tell people what the events were.
On the vault and uneven bars. The top 6 qualifiers led by the Americans, Stephanie Woods, Shelley Stack, and Kristen McDermott. And then Jimenez of Cuba. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Bender, along with Kathy Johnson and Bart Connor.
It was getting cold in here.
The U.S. women have really dominated the all-arounds.
That's right, Gary. And if you look back over the last 8 Pan-American games, 5 times the U.S. women have.
Look how blonde all of those people are.
I know. I know.
And what is that shirt that Kathy is wearing?
It's giving.
This competition is really wide open for about
Mormon
gymnasts that are capable of
wife?
I wouldn't say Mormon. I would say more like Oprah Winfrey audience member.
Secondly, no scores carry over, so they all start from 0, which is good because there were a lot of falls in the previous days of competition, which brings up the third and most important factor, consistency. It's going to come down to which gymnast can hit 4.
So I think Kathy was better when, like, now she's very invested in being nice. And I think in this period of time, she was more interested in explaining things.
The United States coming in here with the top 3 qualifiers. I tell you, McDermott really did a great job in the optional. She came on very strong to get into the all-around.
She actually had the highest optional all-around score of the entire competition. And that's going to be critical in tonight's competition because, as I said, it's optionals only.
So Kristen ready to go now. They'll have 2 vaults, and they will take the best of the 2.
This is a great rotation. It's the Olympic order for Kristen. She starts on vault, then goes to bars, balance beam, and floor exercise. This is a good event to start on.
Okay.
Look how like little muscle definition they had back then.
Nerves can get in the way, and you have to really control your.
They look like children.
Go all out.
Well, she's like 13.
Oh, what is that?
Ready to go.
Because the line between junior and senior at events that were not the Olympics or Worlds was kind of fuzzy through the 90s.
Yeah. What is
like Morcino was at senior nationals competing beam at like 10.
That's crazy.
Let's see what happens here. She kind of drilled it onto the horse. Her hands and arms
That's
were
crazy.
bent as she went into the horse. And as you mentioned, Kathy, she really didn't get the.
Well, didn't Jordan Weber like compete at
Yeah, Jordan Weaver competed at American Cup as a junior. She won it.
Yeah.
It's one of these sillier American Cups.
In that gold Leo, right?
No, that was nationals.
Oh.
I think that was the pink era of American Leos.
That gold Leo was
International.
god awful. Oh my gosh. Jordan, no offense.
The Parkettes program down in Allentown, Pennsylvania, with Bill and Donna Strauss.
Jordan's not watching. She's doing prayer circles for Jocelyn's ankle.
No!
Stephanie Woods, the top qualifier, coming into the
Oh, it's so funny. Not funny that she got hurt, but just like the image of like Jordan Weaver and Kyler Ross just kind of like prayer circle.
Optional portion of the team competition. These bars are quite a bit different than she's used to in the United States. They're very bouncy, very slow, and you have
Look at
to
the
wait
computer,
on
man.
every single element.
Jeez.
Because the timing is just a little different.
She had a 9-1 earlier in the competition.
Trying to fire up
Just to
what?
substantiate what you were saying.
MS DOS on that?
She also had a fractured growth plate in her wrist, and apparently that is giving her some trouble.
It's too early for Windows.
So it has to be MS DOS, yeah.
We should have counted the number of
So
conferences.
like this is a Parkettes gymnast that goes to Alabama. I mean, Stephanie Woods is a type.
Yeah. Well, Parkettes. I mean, one thing you can't like hold against them is that they actually did like have some of the best like black gymnasts for a while.
Yeah, I think that they were one of the safer gyms to go to. Not obviously not safe for being treated well, but like
as far as race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever heard anything racial about the Parkettes coaches.
Which is wild to me. Like, of all the things, that never was one of them. I mean, at least
She's got really nice bars.
She does. Like, she's swinging.
A beautiful routine.
And what's funny is that, like,
Strong start for Stephanie, because as
I mean, you can see why Sarah Patterson snapped her up.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That was one thing about Sarah Patterson. Sarah Patterson had such a good eye for talent. Like she just knew. Like my dream was always to like interview her and Suzanne. Like just ask them about like the whole movie and all that, and like their thoughts, and kind of want to ask Suzanne a couple things, but that's just me.
So like one of the things.
Go ahead.
You were about to say something. Those bars look really loose.
Yeah.
I wonder what brand this is.
It has to be AAI, doesn't it? Isn't it?
No, they said that the Americans weren't used to them.
Oh,
so it can't be AAI.
Yeah, so I don't know then.
Believe it or not, for her score on her first vault. Stephanie Woods will
But look how much deflection is in that high bar.
The women's all around is
That's
underway.
weird.
5. She scored that in the vault.
Or maybe they're just
and then we have
old.
a tie for second between Maylin Fleury of Canada and Shelley Stack of the United States. Both with
Maylin Fleury is a great name for a gymnast.
Kind of like Mary Claire.
So Parente of Brazil is the person I want you to keep an eye out for.
Okay.
So Parente was the first really big Brazilian gymnast. Porter Carrero is going to be a 1992 Olympian for Guatemala, and she makes the a world's beam final in a couple of years from now.
Okay. I just I have the stream up on my TV, and I just saw myself like kind of like shiver because it's so cold. I turned off the air conditioner, but like I should turn it back on if I want to wear a hoodie.
Yeah, so you should watch this. This is the first really star Brazilian gymnast. Like the first.
She's kind of giving like Jade Barbosa. Or Jade Barbosa. In a sense. Ooh, it's chilly.
In the optional session on the uneven bars the other day, so we could be in for a treat here.
Yeah, so a 9.8 here is a massive score.
In this rotation, we have 2 apparatus, uneven bars and beam.
Nice front giant work. Here's
Yeah,
her
pretty.
release move, a Jaeger front. She also has a second release move coming up right
Yeah, like,
here.
look how good her lines are.
The half twist
She's doing
into a
great.
front somersault.
Nice.
Again, nicely done.
The episode on the release, please.
And like I said, 1991 Brazil. This is not a, like...
So you saw flashes of brilliance in the team. It just, took some time to, like, get all the pieces together.
Yeah, so that was a great bars routine.
Yeah.
Like, that was a great bars routine, period. Not just for Pan Ams.
Really?
God, I miss holds.
Me too, man. I like a good reverse planche. Love that.
Like, Simone would do so many great planches.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you would. Did you see the video of her and Fred? So much fun.
You mean when she looked like she was trying to be a frog on the floor?
What'd you say?
When she
the frog, yeah.
The prayers.
Yeah. I mean, some things Simone just can't do. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm sure if she trained it, she could. But like not all gymnasts can do a full, like a standing full.
She's handling the pressure here. She's very new to international competition. We've said this before, it's a very difficult place to compete.
Well, also, Fred trying to do dance skills.
Yeah. I mean, his Popa was almost there. Kinda. Oh, lovely.
That was 9.775 now. Shelly Stack on the uneven bars.
This is the part she missed in the optionals of the team. Front somersault right on the money there. Great.
So, Shelly Stack went to like 4 different gyms in this period. And
what happened there?
So she was a Karoli gymnast in the 1980s, went to the Olympics as a Karoli gymnast, and then was like, these people are crazy.
Rightfully so.
And her mom got a reputation as a crazy gym mom, and you still see people talking about how crazy her mom was. But every time I hear one of those gym hopper stories, I think leaving all of those gyms is not a bad idea.
On the full turn, very assertive in all of her movements. This is impressive.
Like, Harry Strug was, talked shit about for all the gyms she left.
Yeah.
But, like, if you think about every gym Carrie Strug left, she had a really good reason for leaving.
Oh, I have a question for Catherine. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How does today's developments affect the project that your friend, our friend, the friend, is working on?
Acre?
Yeah.
I think that it does. I mean, so our friend is writing a gymnastics novel or a trilogy.
So good. It's so good. So
and
good.
There is a gymnast in it who does NCAA and then leaves abruptly because it's not for her. But I don't think she's going to write that as an abuse story. But more just as NCAA is not for everyone.
Yeah.
So that is a great reverse planche thing.
I like it's kind of an ugly skill, but the reverse planche into stand, I guess.
Yeah. Phillips?
Yeah, I love that skill, but it's so ugly sometimes.
Well,
no, it's ugly most times.
It makes me hurt watching it. Like, I know that Phillips can do it, but I'm like, I don't actually want to see the weird Phillips back flexibility.
Yeah, that's contortionism.
That's a sizable deduction there. 2 to 3 tenths off for losing her balance.
Yeah, so beam is not her thing. She's a bars girl, and this is an era where you can't be a specialist.
Yeah.
But I'm here to celebrate the first gymnast that put Brazil on the map.
I am too. Hold on. I'm gonna get some water because class needs to go. Anyway, I'll be right back. Be right back.
It's going to be very difficult to get a 9.3.
I'm gonna get water.
Here's her first tumbling pass, round off, lay out pike. Just a very slight balance break there. Here is the biggest deduction. This mount is a round off double back. It's in tucked position, but right here she's short. She has to put her hands down. That's a fall.
Ferrante, the veteran of the Brazil team, #1 ranked in that country. She was in the World Championships in '89. 19 years old. She's a large gymnast, 5'5", 120.
They keep calling her large, and she's 5'5".
They needed a 9.3, as we mentioned, to stay on top. As we're in our third rotation here in the women's all-around. This is Georgina Benitez. This is earlier the Cuban.
We have really enjoyed watching her in this competition. So much personality.
Benitez is considerably down as far as the standings are concerned, but we're getting ready to watch Shelley Stack, who will be coming up on the beam, and of course she's just 0.15 of a point behind Ferrante coming into this third rotation.
And a tucked double back. She really has a nice future. Right now she's a little weak in terms of physical strength.
The coach of the Cuban team down here, Renee Sanson, has done a terrific job with these young ladies. He has a whole stable of young women with fantastic amount of talent.
It's too bad they're all too young to go to the World Championships in Indianapolis in September. Therefore, they can't even qualify for the Olympic Games. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more, though, from this team.
Benitez was given a 9.525 on the floor exercise.
Let me see when the last time we saw Benitez was.
Shelley on the beam. This is a big moment for her.
This is also a critical event for Shelley. She had a fall here in the team competition. Surprisingly, Shelley actually had 2 falls. She had a fall on the uneven bars and a fall here, but the judges really like her. She's scoring very, very well. If she can stay solid throughout the competition, she'll stay right up there.
Kathy, she had a 9.475 in the optionals.
And that was with a fall.
Shelley has changed gyms 8 times in her career. 3 times she's been in and out of Bella Caroli's program down in Houston.
Ferrante had a 9.2. So here's an excellent chance now for Shelley to overhaul her and take the lead in this third rotation.
I got coffee instead.
Cypress Academy with Eddie Kaicha.
Because I was falling asleep, Catherine. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Very aggressive, very quick movement.
Ooh.
You were the one who wanted to watch things today.
I did. I always say this, but I got a pumpkin spice latte. It's so good. A cold brew.
Lay out pike somersault. Right here. Very nicely done.
Ooh. And I got churro donut holes. They're like donut holes, like covered with like churros or something, I guess. So good. Who's this?
So Benitez, we don't see again, which is funny. So they're like, we're going to see a lot of her. And nope.
Who's this?
I believe this is McDermott. No, this is not McDermott. This is Stack.
Oh, okay.
Probably a smart move. She was a tiny bit off on that front. Sometimes in
Is that a ribbon in her hair?
She's got Caroli legs.
Yeah.
You have to adjust to that.
Is that a ribbon in her hair?
I think that's why we've seen some falls.
A what in her hair?
A ribbon in her hair?
Yep. Yes.
A ribbon! No more ribbons ever.
Ribbons are very old school. If you really want old school, it's yarn in the hair.
Or a scrunchie. Ooh, I love a good scrunchie.
Right in there.
So now her teammate Stephanie Woods ready to go in the floor exercise. Now she needs a 9-6 to tie Shelley for the lead at the end of this third rotation. Boy, it's taken a long time. It's been an arduous process here to get.
I don't like red floors
come up with the results.
at all.
The young lady's been standing seemingly forever.
And the scores have been quite unpredictable. Shelley Stack the other day fell off the beam and scored a 9.475. Today she hit her routine perfectly and got only a 9.575.
I really wonder if somebody like Woods in 1991 in gymnastics was going to have problems because of how dark she is. Like, Betty Okino is very light-skinned.
Yes, she is. Well, we talked to Diane Durham's husband. I don't know if you watched that interview, like Kayla and I did. And just like the things he like told us, like it's fascinating, but also like kind of sad in a sense. Like, but it also makes you like really hopeful for like the future because all that kind of college just man.
I don't either.
It's a good interview.
Bella Caroli in some book somewhere described the dream team from 1992 Olympics as monkeys.
Wow. Well, even Valery Lukin, like the stuff he said recently.
I still don't get why that's not more famous.
People will do
and it wasn't even the Russian interviewer making him, like, baiting him into that question.
He said that, like, through his neck.
Again, she needs a 9-6 to tie Shelley.
Well, like, it's not super uncommon for Russian speakers in the gymnastics community to give different answers to Russian media than they give in English.
Because they don't think it'll get out.
Right. So, for people listening who don't know this, about 2018, Valery Lukin gave an interview in Russian where he was asked a perfectly innocent question about whether Simone and Gabby inspired more black girls to go into gymnastics. And then he, like, went off on goal on black bodies and gymnastics and power. And he compared Gabby and Simone as similar gymnasts, which makes me really question whether he ever watched either of them, because Gabby and Simone are just not the same gymnast at all.
At all.
And how could someone of his experience say that? But
wasn't he national team coordinator at the time? Or about to be?
No, he'd just been fired from it. He also talked about people making up abuse allegations against him. I know that Luba is not everyone's favorite person on the Gymternet, but the reason we know a lot of those kinds of things from the Russian speakers is because of her.
I love Luba. I think she's misunderstood, kind of, but I love the fact that she took the stance that she wouldn't cover Russian gymnastics, and I applaud that.
She understands the politics of that situation a lot better than a lot of people do, and I think people want her to be more bending than she is.
She's not.
And she dropped to fourth because of a fall on
the balance
beam.
Is that her start position?
Yep.
Cute. You know who I'm really proud of? Kensley.
In what way?
Very, very tall for a gymnast.
Just like the content she's putting out, the videos, great graphics. Like I texted her the other day, I was like, I'm proud of you.
They keep talking about this girl like she's a giant, and she's 5'5".
That's kind of tall for a gymnast. At least in that era, I feel.
But, like, they're talking about her like she's the Jolly Green Giant come down to, like...
What did I call Jonas Harmer? Oh, the Jolly Mormon Giant.
Another high
Oh.
flying pass. The judges are looking for the amplitude on this pass. There's good clean landing.
I watched the
So
video
the,
from. Go ahead.
so the strength of this performance gets her invited to the American Cup, like the next year, I believe.
Really uses her arms nicely.
Have they not invited the Brazilians to the World Cup?
The American Cup.
American Cup, right? Oh, because that wasn't it wasn't actually a big thing until like they became a World Cup, right?
Yeah.
I find it so funny how they would make it out to be a bigger deal than it was. And it was like, girl, it's the American Cup. Like, relax.
Yeah, like you'd see the American coverage and that'd be like the most prestigious gymnastics competition in the United States. Or no, there's at one point they say it's like third only to the Olympics and the World Championships, and I'm like,
to home, sir, to home. No,
like,
it was the most prestigious competition.
No,
American
people
soil.
are more impressed. People were more impressed in the '80s if you won Moscow News.
You know what I mean? It was wild. Like they really tried to hype that meet up, and she was just never gonna be that girl. No, because it's so early in the year. One, two, like Jordan Weber competing alone in that meet completely erased the validity of the entire work that they'd done to like really try to like amp that meet up.
So I think at some point watch some of the scammier American Cups that are not just the one that everyone knows for.
We watched one with Anna-Maria Bakan, I think her name is.
That's one of the ones. There's one where Olga Strajeva loses to Christy Phillips. Which, think about that.
I'm like, that's funny.
And there's one where Tasha Schweikert is basically gifted it over Courtney Kupets.
Am I wrong to think that Courtney Kupets could have been that girl had she not been hurt?
Yeah. Like,
because I feel like she was a better gymnast.
She had terrible luck because she could have been that girl at 2003 Worlds, and she could have been that girl at the Olympics. Whatever you think of her now as a coach, Courtney Kupets was a great gymnast.
A fantastic gymnast. Probably one of the more dominant gymnasts of like her era.
Well, she was certainly dominant in NCAA.
Yeah.
Look at that sponsor logo. Why is it like?
I don't know. I was like, why is it so big? That's an Adidas, Leo. Just so if you didn't know, Catherine.
What country is this?
That's Cuba, isn't it? Isn't that girl from Cuba? No.
No.
She's slaying the house on boots. She's performing. She's giving you pain of a nation.
It might be Argentina. Sorry, I have the results next to me, and I don't want to give them away.
No, you're good. You're good.
But there's an Argentinian gymnast who's really hot.
It may be her. Sound mixing back in like the 90s was wild.
Well, also, production in Cuba.
True.
With a couple of little bobbles and a triple twist was a good dismount. That was actually the best tumbling pass in her routine. The rest of the routine didn't have a lot of difficulty.
A triple twist from the Panamerican Games.
Stephanie Woods is going to hang on to the gold after this.
I have no idea how she got that around.
Although it was a lovely routine,
I watched like the replay like on my TV. There's like a delay, and I just that's insane.
Yeah, so that's Argentinian. So she's the bronze medalist here.
Oh, good. Good.
A nice landing.
I did ask Tiana on Zoe's Live if she was going to go to Cal, and she kind of like looked, and she was like, I don't know, but then like she went off camera too, like right next to Zoe, and you hear them probably. They're not like quiet whisperers or whatever. And she said something about like the college question.
Her last tumbling run, she went for a triple twist, didn't quite make it around.
I'm more curious about Charlize at this point because she's burning NCAA eligibility.
I don't think so yet.
I think she is.
Well, you can get an exception for competing
Yeah,
at.
but you still have to be
from Argentina.
like. I think she's burning a year now.
Well, Flatterotis hung in there tough. Shelley Stack had a 9.6.
I don't know how that works anymore.
You get 4 years within 5 years of graduation, and you get an extra year for the Olympics to defer.
This first pass is the one she usually has to sweat.
So
when did you graduate?
if she graduated if she graduated in like 2020, then she's burning a year now.
Yeah.
This is a very high energy floor routine.
Yeah.
Which makes it very difficult in terms of endurance to finish strong.
So Stack is a really great gymnast of this era, and I just think she was in the doghouse with because she had dared to leave Bella Caroli.
Her middle tumbling
And how
pass
dare
is
she leave
coming up.
Bella?
It's really a lot of fun. She does a 2.5 twist.
And for American choreography, that's not terrible in this period.
No, I'm enjoying it.
Into a front somersault and tumble right back in the other direction. That's fun.
This camera work is driving me insane. Yeah, this is good choreography. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's good choreo.
Pan-Ams can be exciting.
I feel like one other thing that I asked a couple things to Zoe and then Tiana. I asked them, was like, so are you gonna give the Brazilian girls a run for their money? And they kind of looked at each other. They're like, maybe. And Zoe didn't know what a def was, so I had to explain. She was like, that sounds like I could do it. And Tiana goes, you could do it. So here's hoping that I really hope
the fact that Zoe does not know what a def is because it probably hasn't been done is really sad to me. But
like, Zoe got really excited when I explained to her what it was. She was like, oh, that sounds like fun. So,
and a wonderful day
for
Stephanie Woods.
Because I feel like with her height, she could do it.
She was really very
Even Tiana goes, it looks like she's like, you could do it for sure.
Impressed by the way she competed all throughout the competition.
I take it Tiana knew what a def was.
She didn't until like I explained what it was. Because Zoe goes, what's a def? And Tiana goes, I don't know.
Let's check in on.
How did you describe it to her?
Well, I know it's a 1.5, but I said it was a full twisting ganger.
Yeah,
or
the
Jaeger.
full twisting ganger is usually how people explain it.
Yeah.
Look at all these men's glasses.
I wish. I would have thrived in this era, let me tell you.
Okay, so they're probably going to skip vault because they always skip vault in this era.
Why is Bart so blonde?
He was always so blonde.
Like, I feel like he like, okay, I like this Leo. I like that you say Leo. No, but like he looks blonde. It's just like, I don't know if that's lighting or something, because he looks blonder than he was in the other video.
No, I mean this is how blonde he was. He was like farm boy. He was farm boy aesthetic his entire career.
Okay, let's be honest, Catherine. That is like West Hollywood bathhouse blonde. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm saying like it's giving very much a twink in the 80s.
He did go to UCLA.
Period.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Sorry, he went to Oklahoma.
That was Tim Daggett.
He went to UCLA.
Oh no, that lady is
Vidmar was
fierce.
also super blonde.
That lady is fierce. That's what I strive
Look
to be
at that
someday.
camera.
I'm telling you.
That camera.
It's everything. Her nails. Oh my God, I strive to be that woman someday.
When she was 18 months old, she found Anne hanging upside down from the kitchen table and took her right to a gymnastics class.
What?
She's been always a show off too. So here she's ready to go now.
Hold on. I didn't hear that again. What?
One big skill in this routine.
Hold on.
Gymnast 6'2" in the vault to get the silver. That's Mary Wojnarowski. We talked to her last night. She had a tough time getting here.
It's funny, she said she knew Ann was going to be a great gymnast when she was 18 months old. She found Ann hanging upside down from the kitchen table and took her right to a gymnastics class.
She said she's been always a show-off, too. So here she's ready to go now.
That's my favorite thing I've heard.
She has one big skill in this routine. It comes up early on. She first does a full pirouette right here, and then sets up for the skill.
Ooh.
It's a reverse heck in the opposite direction. Very nice.
Oh.
No! I don't believe it. She made the big skill, and just on the easy transition move down to the low bar, her hands ripped off the bar.
Probably sweat.
That's 0.5 of a point deduction right off the bat.
She has a last name. I've just seen how it's spelled. Woyernowski.
No, what a shame.
They have to be Polish, right?
She's our junior national champion this year. And so many people are expecting great.
What other language? Oh, Welsh? Welsh has the wildest, or that is in Irish. Irish have the wildest spellings for words. I'm like, what is that? Like Shorsa? Shorsa Ronan? I'm just like, that actress's name. I'm just like, how do you get that from that?
Release move.
Yeah, so we don't see Wojnarowski after this. She was at some U.S. domestic stuff before this.
Let's see, Kathy, if we can take a look on this dismount. Obviously, she got herself back together and finished well, but as you mentioned, there's a major break early in the routine.
Wojnarowski already has a silver today, not having a good time here in the uneven bars. We'll be back with more competition here from the women's individual.
But yeah, no, Welsh names
she
are
got
crazy.
a silver on vault.
She is
Best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
After leading the American women to the team gold, she captured the all-around competition, her first international victory ever. Stephanie impressed the judges with her long, fluid swings and technical precision.
Man, she really slams the bar with the catches. I like that.
Smooth and poised.
Like I said, she has NCAA written all over her.
She does. Like that is a.
That's an Alabama gymnast. Like even though she's a baby.
For this meet to make my routines as perfect as I could, so I could have a good meet, and so I stuck every routine, and so I'm real pleased with that.
Today,
I love
Stephanie
that.
competes in the ball.
Look at her profile. My God, she's so striking. So beautiful.
Also, like, black gymnast wins gold in the all-around at Pan Am's in 1991. That's a big deal.
Period. It was just crazy, like, to me, like, I was born in 1991.
I bet you she was probably the first black gymnast from the United States to win a gold at Pan Am's.
Got a silver medal
We should look into
on the
that.
vault, doing very well. Unfortunately, Stephanie Woods there doesn't have a strong second vault, so she didn't medal. And on the uneven bars, Ann had an unfortunate
Oh my God! So I made
miss
these little
there.
animations for
Hillary
like
Anderson was
the
wonderful
video. Let me
and
see if I
won
can
a
play
silver
it.
medal.
Bart, let's look now, thus far, what's happened in the vault. Luisa Parente with the first of 2 golds today, and then Wojnarowski with the silver, Jennifer Wood of Canada with the bronze. And we moved ahead to the second event, the uneven bars. There's Parente on top again. Quite a story at 9.775. Hillary Anderson from the United States.
Yeah, so Parente walks away from this with 2 gold medals for a Brazilian gymnast in 1991.
Not too shabby.
This is a very nice routine. She's the only gymnast in the competition performing 2 release moves. We'll see them here. The first one is called a Jaeger front. Watch the height from the bar.
The first one is called the Jaeger.
Way up in the air.
Oh, so there it is.
Yeah, so like, give this girl some money for her training, and she would like destroy.
Full pirouette, got a little bit off there, but what a great routine.
By the way, Wojnarowski scored a 9.225 on
It's
the
so
uneven
cool.
bars. This is Mylène Fleury. We
That
just
is
talked
neat.
about the fact she
'Cause I couldn't
tied for
find, like-
second in the uneven bars. She's from Canada.
So
16
just like
years
I'll just
old.
explain. So there's like almost no like
favorite event, the
you know
uneven
gymnastics like graphics where we made. There's not like that. At least like in sense of like motion graphics. So I've been like trying to like, build up a whole like I guess slew of them. Just like when I'm done with them, I can just like post them on websites and people can use them for their own stuff and their own templates and their own graphics. Because man, it's been difficult. They've been difficult trying to like find things like that. So I did this. This is actually from a collection of 3D models that another user on Reddit made. And shout out to them. They're selling this whole pack online. I got access to it because they wanted me to like review it for them, and they're great. I mean, I made my own, but like these are great too. He modeled these after Jim Nova. Better put money on it. There's that one. I have like all 4 events too.
I think this is a super bendy Canadian.
Oh no!
Forward to see
How
that.
difficult. The first pass out, and it's a fall. 0.5 of a point deduction.
Keep in mind the judges are looking for acro moves. They're looking for dance elements.
That Leo is still 1991.
Acro and dance elements.
It's just the shiny fabric. I never liked it. There's the bars.
This event really takes nerves of steel and the ability to control the adrenaline.
It's so crazy.
That step out very nicely done. It's funny, oftentimes you'll see a gymnast, they'll have a fall early on in the routine, then they'll settle down and do the rest of the routine as well as they've ever done.
It looks good. Aw.
Posted by Leonette Gonzalez. She went up first. Tuck double back.
Mylène Fleury from Montreal here in the beam.
Introducing
From the beam as you're looking now.
Okay, I like that,
At the
Leo.
action from the beam, we have Leonette Gonzalez leading with a 9-7 thus far.
Point that tail,
Followed
girl.
Brazil a 9-1-7-5. Mylène Fleury, who fell off a 9-1-2-5.
So I believe this is Puerto Carrero,
So Gonzalez from Cuba leading.
who would make a world team final.
Moments ago on the beam, we're watching her. This is Luisa Portocarrero. She
In
trains
like
with the Canadians and lives
1993.
there.
She is just beautiful on this event. You can see her flexibility, her smooth arm movement. She's doing very well so far. Here's the dismount, 2 back handsprings to a double back, 1 step on the left.
So she moved to Canada to train from Guatemala, and she tried to become a Canadian, and it just never happened.
She has won the hearts of
wonder why.
everyone. We're going to go back and watch moments ago on the beam.
Interesting story about this young lady. She'll be too young to compete in the 92 Olympic Games, which means she'll have to wait for a shot in 96. Can you imagine waiting 5 years for a 12-year-old? That must be like eternity.
Thus far, this is the best routine. She got a 9-7.
Damn.
With the back handspring layout, just a slight balance break there. We were really disappointed when 4 days before the competition, she pulled her groin muscle, and it really affected her competition. She didn't even qualify for the all-around, and in fact, couldn't even perform on the
that the
ball.
girl?
She just went down.
Yeah, this is the girl
in
who
order to
touched
get
the
a
ball.
score. And we now know why they did that, so she could compete here in place of her teammate.
Did Kathy not know? She knew. She knew. They were commenting about it. Yeah, she knew. I guess she's
Yeah,
doing
no.
the narrative.
No, this was
Beautiful switch.
this was an era when you had to compete all the apparatuses. You weren't allowed to not everyone did the all around, and
very well developed for a 12-year-old.
if you withdrew from a phase of the competition, you couldn't compete in later phases.
This is really the
So she had to at least touch the vault so that she could be in this final.
I think that's fair, honestly.
Very well indeed. She still has
It is when your teams are as big as they are.
We were mentioning all the emotion that's centered around this 12-year-old.
In this era. I mean, it was
exercise extremely
6 up 5
under
count.
a lot of pain. Now watch this.
Well, remember what her injury is. It's a groin muscle pull, which also affects the quadriceps. She was having trouble running, which obviously affected the vault and this event here. And you can really see on her face, this hurts.
12 years old, my gosh.
Remember back in '72 with Olga Korbut, people loved her for her acrobatic daring, but when they really fell in love with her was when she had problems. And we've seen the same thing happen here to Leonette.
And I hate that narrative about Olga Korbut, by the way.
Was to compete here in the beam. They scratched her and
like, it feels so, like, weird.
It's nice to see her one more time.
They infantilize the fuck out of Olga.
Yeah.
That seems to be the word here as far as the judges
like,
are concerned.
Oh, she cried.
Terrible delays, especially yesterday in the men's individual apparatus. In fact, it took us over 4 hours
and that's
to
the
complete
problem,
6
man.
rotations. But today it's
Man,
been moving pretty
for
smooth.
as much progress as we made in the past few years, it's still a long way to go, clearly.
So I really like that blue on someone with her skin tone.
Me too.
This high end, all scores have to be very close. The judges get together.
Because I feel like on the whiter girls, it just makes them look like washes them out.
Yeah. So if you see Shannon Miller wearing that Leo, she looks like a ghost.
Yeah.
Well, the controversy continues out there at gymnastics.
Oh my God, the glasses.
Much of the same thing.
We have thus far, Gonzalez still has the lead. And add a score to that, Luisa Portocarrero, a 9.65. That's what they were waiting on. Here's Stephanie.
This is Stephanie's best shot at a gold medal in the individual events.
Ooh, I love this.
Strength move there, the plunge. One of her most impressive qualities.
Like, I would give all the money in my pocket for planches to come back to beam.
Or at least, like, give them value that makes them worth it, you know what I mean?
So I think what needs to happen is I think they need to stop the clock when they're in a hold.
I can see that. I can see that.
Because I think it's not quite, they're impossible to connect, and they take so much time.
Because, I mean, it
but
is like...
you could easily stop the clock in a hold.
I feel like they should do that, or at least, like, give them more time. Like, up the time limit on beam routines, at least 2 minutes.
So are you messing with the video, or?
I'm messing with them, yeah. Because it was bothering me that I couldn't see the bottom of the beam as she was on hold.
I am very impressed with her ability to handle the pressure of international competition.
Smaller. My bad. Are you messing with the video? Yes.
Here's the dismount.
It's always me.
It'll be a double backflip.
Perfect landing.
That was great.
That is crucial for winning a gold medal.
That was really good, actually.
She had a 9.775 in the optionals earlier in the competition. You think she's got that?
It's just like the dimensions of this video is weird.
In the all-around, so she is very consistent.
It's 1991.
And congratulations from her coach, Cheryl Jarrett.
There we go.
With her husband, Jim, in Austin, Texas.
This is a great angle to see this skill. 2 back handsprings in a row. Now watch how straight she is, right over the balance beam. Her hips are square, her shoulders are square.
I hate this angle, but go ahead. Wait, that beam is off.
Showing acrobatic elements there.
I know because, like, one of the bounding boxes for one of the graphics is, like, directly in the middle of the video in OBS, so it shows it's straight down, right? And the beam was like this.
And her dismount was wonderful. This is a double backflip, tucked.
Like, straight up.
Great
It was, like,
reach.
off center.
Boy, you can't land any better than this. Look at the chalk dust come flying off the mat.
That's all I'm saying.
She has
That's all I'm saying.
all the way through the compulsories, the optionals, the all-around, and now waiting for a score. And the score coming in a 9.7, so that will tie her with Leonette Gonzalez.
Oh, I am sorry. There's some politics going on here because that was a better routine than Leonette Gonzalez. It was much cleaner,
Kathy.
much more polished, had more difficulty within the routine. That should have scored quite a bit higher than Leonette's.
The American women have 5 medals thus far. This is Kristen McDermott next on the beam, 14 years old.
68 pounds.
You mentioned politics. That's been a big word here as far as the judging is concerned.
Kristen has a
It's
nice
not the Pan Ams of this era without the Americans complaining about politics.
It has 4 elements in it, and that's very unusual.
But, like, I just want to point out This is an era when America is funding a ton of dictators in Latin America.
Yeah, because of all the banana republics.
So, like,
If you like,
maybe the
if you're
judges are against them, but I'm also like,
She didn't go for the fourth element in that
not
sequence.
like I don't hold it against
it's
them.
not.
Which is really just fine. She has plenty of difficulty in this routine without it. It's more important at this point to hit the routine.
I'm in the crowd at this event, and you're watching the Americans win the team by like points.
Round off layout step. Oh,
I mean,
no.
if you understand, like, if you're watching and you don't understand like what we're talking about. So essentially, what happened was that throughout like from the 70s, 60s all the way to like to about like the 90s, the U.S. went into Central America and essentially destabilized all those governments in order to be able to import fruit to the USA from those countries. Like they set up banana republics, and that's what it means. The banana republic is a country that has been
Little bananas. For Chiquita Banana, the like
Chiquita Banana, so racist.
What you buy? Yeah. So like the U.S. backed coups and destabilized democratic governments in Latin America. So
you know why it happened, chat? Because there was a plague in the farms that farmed the old bananas, the one that the artificially flavored banana flavored things have right now. That was the old banana. There is a new banana we have now.
The old banana is called Big Mike, and that's like artificial banana flavor. Doesn't taste like banana because it tastes like the banana when it was made.
Yeah.
And the current banana is called the Cavendish.
Yeah, and it was made in England in order to withstand the plague that was affecting the Big Mike. Fascinating.
So there were like 200 varieties of bananas, and like there were all sorts of different colors. But yeah, so one of the things I like, you can't watch Pan Ams in the 80s and 90s without knowing that the people in the crowd basically hate the Americans.
Yeah.
And for good reason.
Rightfully so. It's just like, it's just crazy. Like the entire part of our history, people don't really talk about it, and they should.
Here's a very difficult turn.
Oh wow.
Turn sideways to the beam.
Like I really feel like more people should talk about the actual history and what happened there, because I don't think people understand. They're not young people. And all they used that, and then like they built the Panama Canal, which that's a whole bunch of worms. Like that's a whole bullshit thing too. And the thing is, like these countries essentially, like they would go in there. Well, they went in there with like their own armada, like their own navy, in order to like be able to take over these plantations essentially and export those bananas. Like they would make the people there work.
Panama was a province of Colombia, and the U.S. backed a coup so that it would be an independent country they could build a canal in.
Yep. And then they essentially, what they would do is that they would take over these countries or ports or whatever, and they would give them vouchers that they could redeem at like the commissary there, which were what is this? Which was worth nothing essentially. This is the World Team Trials. World Team Trials? Oh, did we finish? Yeah, that was
no. It. Okay. So can we just go to Schaefer? Schaefer should be in your DMs.
Yes. But yeah, no, that entire like section of history, y'all, it's fascinating, but it's also like once you learn about it, there's a video by Johnny.
So Adex, you should at some point you would find fascinating a story called Fordlandia, which is about Henry Ford Henry Ford wanted to farm rubber for the tires for his cars, and so he made a Michigan city in the middle of the Amazon, like literally a Michigan city, and it like failed spectacular because imagine trying to drop a Midwestern city with like no alcohol in the middle of the Amazon.
It was just never gonna work.
Well, also they didn't hire any botanists. for their rubber plantation. But anyway, go to your DMs and you should find.
We're there. Got it.
So this is Pauline Schaefer posted this today, and so Schaefer has a double front in her current floor routine. She's always been good at front tumbling, but her double front has a lot of cowboy. Like a lot of cowboy.
Very yeehaw.
So there's a pod 2, and there's a dowel, and then she does a double front pike half.
And then a triple front.
Uh-huh.
And then like a double front, like the Tabata.
I mean, I don't think, I mean, this is a trampoline into a pit, so I don't take it that seriously.
We've seen Leanne do that thousands of times.
But the double front half pike, I think she could do, because she's doing the half twist at the right point already.
Yeah, she is. In the full.
So I think the most hilarious thing of the Paris Olympics would be if Pauline fucking Schaefer, of all people, got a G-rated tumbling skill named after her.
It's I feel like it's a crime that it would only be a G. Like front tumbling is so fucking like undervalued.
Yeah, so the double front half is an F, and the dowel, the double front pike is an F. So I think a double front pike half would be a G.
And it's so undervalued.
I think a double front full pike would be an H.
I would give it.
But anyway, so I what I think she's really doing here is that I think she's probably upgrading to a dowel. In all seriousness, because if she upgrades to the dowel, she gets 1/10 more difficulty, and she gets rid of her cowboy deduction. Because, like I said, her yeehaw is pretty.
It is. It's Texan. It's damn near. Well, you know what? Maybe almost. I didn't realize Calgary up in Canada, very Texan, very country. They have a whole like huge country.
But anyway, so I just wanted to share my amusement at the idea that. Of Pauline Schaefer. Like, it's really funny when eponymous skills come from people who are not known for those apparatuses.
Yeah.
No, because if Schaefer got a G floor skill named after her, floor people would do that.
I don't even think she would realize like the impact that would have.
Well, her name would be more known, but like, there are lots of skills that are named after people who are not known for those apparatuses.
Like you said, like the Shap earlier.
Yeah, Shapovnikova is not a bars girl.
No, she never was. I mean, but her name is not so eponymous.
Floor, but like, yeah, people know her or know her name for bars when she was a beam and floor girl. Anyway. Yeah. So this is my like amusement for the day. Like I said, I don't think she's serious here. I think this is she posted vault and bars stuff, so I think she's clearly still trending the all around.
Yeah.
I think maybe she liked the idea that she made the all around again for the first time in forever.
And the thing is, they need her. They need her for it.
Well, they don't anymore because
they didn't qualify.
They didn't qualify. So
and she already qualified, right?
Yes. Yeah, so she qualified in the all around. Voss qualified on floor.
But they still get to do the all around.
They can do Olympics. Yeah, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I will see you back here at 5:15 your time tomorrow.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Have a great night. Love you so much. Thank you for always helping me out and everything you do, Catherine. I really appreciate you. Let me see. Let me make myself big again. Ooh. Let me see. Let's go to Restream. Where's it at? Where's she at? There she is. Let's see Restream. Okay. Let me. Oh, y'all over here on YouTube did not see that. Okay. So there's me big. Okay. Let me see. Let me go back to OBS. Ooh. Okay. How to do this? This one? Is it this one? Is that this one? Hold on. Here, properties. Go to. Let's see. Restream. Oh, there I am. Cool. Okay, let me move me right there. All right. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Take two. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you joining us. Kara Aker. It's sad, man. Like, it's just difficult to really fathom how, like, in 2023, the year of our Lord, Darren Go Burn, even now, like, this shit keeps on happening. And the fact of the matter is that it's okay. So you know how, like, people say, "Oh, it's bad apple cops," or whatever. And it's like, sure, yeah, bad apple. But then there's the whole thing about, like, watching evil shit be done and not say anything about it. What does Janice Ian say in Mean Girls? There's two types of evil people in the world. There's people who do evil, and there's people who will sit aside while they watch other people do bad things, or whatever. I'm paraphrasing. And it's one of the things, like, Miley O'Keefe, you were a national champion in the all-around and on beam. And then you go and defend Tom Farden. Look, I understand there's, like, you know, people who are the favorites or whatever, and then they get treated differently. But you were there when she was being publicly berated in front of the whole team. And Crystal Lisa, like, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. And just to know that, like, your fucking response was, "Oh, some girls just don't know how to work hard enough." What the fuck? There's a difference between working hard and then literally being abused. And it just, I just don't understand. And then for the entire university to fail this girl so miserably, the same cycles keep repeating, and it just keeps happening. And it's one of those things, like, I thought we had gotten to the point where, like, you know, we're starting to turn the page, but no, here we are back again. And I just don't know. But it only reinforces the point that we definitely need to have a conversation about this. I'm not gonna cry. And so, like I said, we're putting together a roundtable on abuse that will have members or individuals from Australia, Canada, as well as the United States. And because this is not just an isolated event, you know, abuse doesn't just happen in the U.S. or in Great Britain. It happens in the entire world, which means this is a literal cancer to the sport of gymnastics. And I don't know what else to do but, like, to give them the space to be able to talk about it. You know what I mean? To raise awareness about it. And so that's what we're gonna do. As far as Adex tonight, so I'm kind of, like, set on the idea that that's what we're gonna do. So my parents added, like, an extra little thing behind my room. I don't know why. I think they're gonna put their laundry machine in there and their dryer in there. But in the meantime, it's just an empty room. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use that to film Adex at Night. And if you don't know how that works, because it's a little weird. So essentially, when I started this whole, like, idea of wanting to do Adex at Night about, like, 4 years ago, I looked into, like, how to do green screen stuff and really immerse myself in the world of what is it called, King. What is this? There's this. I forgot the word for it right now, but it's fascinating because normal setups you have to have the green screen, right? Green screen, lights, and then the talent, and then lights in front of them, and so just to be able to get, like, good, like, I forgot the word for it. My God, I whatever. To get a good key, essentially. Key, there's a word for it, but the key means the green screen. And so I didn't have that much room, so I was like, I can't do it. But somehow or another, I ran into a video where it showed like a retroreflective material. They would put an LED ring around the camera lens that would then shoot the green from the LED to the retroreflective material, and as you're shooting it, the retroreflective material shoots back the green, and the camera itself, the lens, reads the green. But if you're just looking at it, it looks gray. So guess what, bitch? I went online and I found the material. So I found the material, and it wasn't that expensive at all. And actually, I became really good friends with the lady who sells the material, and got the material, got the LEDs. Actually, just got new LEDs, and started toying around with it. Realized that in order to like actually make it they could see me, because if we just have like the green with me and then the camera and no lights, I look black, like a silhouette. So then I got lights and this light and like 3 other lights, and so once you set it up, it takes up like maybe 5 feet in total. Like just like from the camera to you, and that was much more efficient for the room I had. And so I wanted to show you guys that process and show you guys how all that works. And so I'm gonna use my DSLR, and the DSLR can connect to my computer, which I can then connect into OBS, which is this program I'm using right now to stream. And through that, I can record the show while you guys see exactly what the finished. Well, you won't see like the graphics, but you'll see the green screen in that live feed. And so as I'm doing that, you're gonna get the chance to see me like record the show, but like there's gonna be mistakes. I'm gonna have to do a couple of retakes or a couple of takes of certain things. But I want you guys to see the behind the scenes and of the whole process, because I think personally I find it fascinating, and I always watch behind the scenes stuff. But I just felt like there's never been anything like that for gymnastics, and I kind of want to show that, because there's so much that I do that I feel like people don't realize, and so I kind of want to just show that whole aspect, because I learned so much when I lived in LA, working on sets and on music videos and photo shoots and all that, and I wanted to bring that experience here, and so it's gonna be fun. What else? That's about it. I will see you back here tomorrow at 4:15 p.m. Yes, 4:15 p.m. That's what time I'll go live, and it's gonna be exciting. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a great flipping Friday. And if no one sold this today, I love you. I appreciate you. You're awesome. And if you're going through something, I don't think you put it to. Reach out to somebody. Okay, go to Carrie Aker's profile. Give her some love. If you need some sort of help or resources, there's you can go to a link on her profile, I believe, to find resources for that. Don't call. Oh my God. Do not call the National Suicide Hotline. It sucks. Okay? When the whole internet thing was going on, and I felt really like I was at the lowest point of my life, I called. Girl, the wait music, jarring. Okay? Then they only let you talk for an hour and a half. And then the lady was like, okay, well, we've reached our time limit. I'm like, what? You are the National Suicide Hotline. An hour and a half. What if whoever, like, someone other than me needed, like, an hour and 45? It makes no fucking sense. It's laughable, honestly. And I know that's how they're trained. And she was just doing her job, but, like, USA, for them to be, like, on social media or, like, Republicans saying, like, oh, the immigrants are going to ruin their culture. What culture is that? What culture do we have? Like, it's just... The inherent American need to just be mediocre is so annoying. So annoying. God. And I mean that with my entire heart. So, it's just frustrating. We deserve better. Everyone deserves better. Carrie deserves better. So that's why I want to give you guys better. Because at least I can do that. But yeah, I will see you back tomorrow. Have a great night and just drink some water. Okay, take care of yourself. Wash your face. Wash your ass. And know that you're important. Oh, the Orionids are peaking this weekend. So if you want to watch some stars, go out and watch stars. And yeah, have a good day. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Bye. Okay, bye, Twitch. And I have to go over here and say bye to the rest of you guys. Balloons. Bye, y'all.